New York City's sanctuary city policy is being challenged in court.
Trump administration officials maintain New York City's policies obstruct immigration law enforcement. Now a federal lawsuit's naming Mayor Eric Adams and other city officials in targeting policies that include barring city law enforcement from holding people in custody past their release date to honor civil immigration detainers. Trump officials blamed the city's sanctuary policies for the weekend shooting of an off-duty, ununiformed U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer in a Manhattan park. The lawsuit says one of the suspects had been released following an arrest last year, despite an active detainer. The mayor's office says Adams supports the essence of the city's policies, but has urged the city council to re-examine them. I'm Ben Thomas.
French President Macron says his country will recognize a Palestinian state in September, bringing criticism from the U.S. and Israel. During a tour of multi-billion-dollar renovations at the Federal Reserve, President Trump asked about his contentious relationship with Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, who Mr. Trump has called a numbskull.
Are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. Other than that, what can I tell you?
The president has labeled Powell too late for his reluctance to lower interest rates to boost the economy. Powell did lower rates during the presidential election. One of the 3 Lorain, Ohio police officers shot in an ambush Wednesday has died. Officer Philip Wagner passed away yesterday. Police say the gunman was killed in an exchange of fire with police. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures 71 points higher. NASDAQ futures down 4 points. The S&P futures up 8. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
I'm an artist, and I'm in my studio. I listen to the radio all day, and I'm hearing the ads about Relief Factor. And I've got pain in my neck, and it's getting worse. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and order this. 2 weeks later, I've got much better range of motion. If you're experiencing pain at a certain point in life, I would get Relief Factor.
Fight pain natty with Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Fighting between Thailand and Cambodia over disputed border areas has entered a second day, leaving at least 15 dead and displacing more than 60,000 people. The BBC's Jonathan Head at a refugee camp for those driven from their homes.
These people have left. They don't know how long they're going to be here. They're being well looked after. The authorities have got plenty of resources to care for them. We've noticed as we've walked around, it's mostly women and children, mostly older women. We think many of the men have actually stayed behind to look after their homes, their livestock, even at the risk of more shelling. And there was quite a lot of shelling and gunfire overnight. So there's no sign of the situation de-escalating. There are an awful lot of Thai troops around. We're being kept away from the most sensitive areas. Every sign that we see is that this conflict is going to go on for some time.
Malaysia has expressed concern about the situation and is offering to mediate the dispute. News and analysis, townhall.com. President Trump has signed an order to clarify the employment status of college athletes at a time of great uncertainty.
The move aims to establish clearer national standards in the NCAA's name, image, and likeness era. The order seeks to address the chaotic landscape of college sports, where athletes can now earn income from endorsements and schools can pay them directly. Trump's order also calls for preserving scholarships and roster spots for non-revenue sports and asks the Justice Department to protect athletes' rights. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
He became an ardent supporter of President Trump and was never shy about proclaiming his love of America. Pro wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died. Cardiac arrest. President Trump praised his strength as well as his cultural impact. Their friendship included shared appearances at wrestling events and political rallies. Hulk Hogan was 71. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday. Welcome to it. Made it to the weekend. Of course, another crazy day in Ruidoso with the more flooding.
That was the videos I was seeing. It was less like rain moving and more just land moving.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think that, some of those areas have hit their point where they just get the burn scars, and now you're getting mud-slides, washouts, and all kinds of stuff. So
washout was my nickname in high school.
Also, John Crier's character in Hot Shots.
Don't look.
Oh, be your eyes in the sky. But yeah, it was another one of those. And to be honest, until those burn scars get vegetation on them, or until they do something about that, and monsoon season ends, this is it's like a weekly thing now.
It sure seems like it. Yeah, it's been a pretty consistent thing.
But this is it's the impact of those fires. This is what it is.
I had the thought cross my mind that the modern day equivalent of washout is Kash Patel.
That's funny.
It's accurate.
But happy Friday, nonetheless. Yes. We will have a good weekend despite.
I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure that every person who's ever been on film or audio medium is happy this week is over.
No kidding.
This has been a rough week if you're a celebrity.
Yeah. Matter of fact, just warn you now, this hour we're going to replay an interview we had with Crystal from the Humane Society yesterday. And at the end, that's when the Hulk Hogan news broke. Yeah. So right at the end of the interview, we talked about Hulk passing. But yeah.
I've had a little bit of time to kind of contemplate on it and think about it. And I posted up just kind of like a, meme the Hulkster thing last night. But you really, say what you will about the man as a person, but every Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, he's at least one of them.
Absolutely. He's an icon.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the rock and wrestling era, or even I would argue WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan.
I think all of it would be gone.
The Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. Think of your favorite wrestler in the 90s, Stone Cold, The Rock. That all came from the rivalry between WCW and WWF because Hogan formed the NWO. Say what you will about the man as a person, but his career is it stands alone. He is the
Babe Ruth of wrestling. He's it. He's the king.
Before I was even a fan of wrestling, when I was a kid, I was watching Saved by the Bell, and I heard Zach Morris say the name Hulk Hogan. I'm like, that's how mainstream the guy was. You didn't have to be a fan of wrestling to know who he was.
You know what? It's the one thing about yesterday and the Hulk passing, and everyone sharing their piece about Hogan in some way. It almost seemed like every older person wanted to make a point, like, I even remember him as Thunder Lips in Rocky 3. And it's like, yes, we all know he was Thunder Lips in Rocky 3. But it almost felt like that's the secret knock to get into the club.
Right.
Thunder Lips. Oh, know.
I was in before it was cool. Yeah.
It had very much that vibe to me yesterday when people were mentioning it. And I'm like, yes, he was Thunder Lips.
What's crazy is he was, I mean, and this is why it came as such a shock. He was actively still, working. He and Eric Bischoff had just started a, to say legit wrestling organization,
Okay.
but it's what do they call it?
It's like a developmental deal? Or?
No, there's a certain style of wrestling, which is basically like Greco-Roman.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But it's pro
They're not
wrestling.
naked, are they?
No. It's pro wrestling, but shoot fights, essentially. Like real
with
fights.
Not predetermined outcomes.
Essentially, yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they were in the process of starting a business, which, from what I heard, their first show is still on in late August.
Well, and then I saw something yesterday. Apparently, he's opening some kind of restaurant in Florida there. Well, he still is, but there was, like, the restaurant's set to open here in a month or something. But I guess they were showing some video from like a month ago where he was at the restaurant talking about it and doing a whole promotion for it.
People gave him a lot of guff for his original restaurant, Pasta Mania.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of mad I never got to go. It sounds awesome.
I did go eat at a place called Pasta Mania.
Hulk-sized portions of relatively edible pasta. I'm in.
They just call it diabetes. Diabetes.
Fan of your foot? Don't be.
But you'll eat so much pasta. We can fill that prosthetic foot.
The concept of an all-you-can-eat pasta bar, that's awesome. Olive Garden, took it and ran with it with the never-ending pasta bowl.
The only thing that would make me happy is as soon as you walk in, that Real American Hero, that song of his is playing. It's like the TV videos, and it's just that blue background in with the guitar.
Right. Well, on that same album, which is absolutely ridiculous start to finish, there's a song about so the story goes, he met a kid at WrestleMania who was a Make-A-Wish kid with cancer.
Okay.
And he wanted to meet Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
So he was all set to go to the show, and he wasn't where he was supposed to be because apparently he died before the show.
Oh, no.
No, don't feel bad. This is all completely fabricated.
Oh.
None of this ever happened. He didn't even wrestle at the show that he said he was wrestling at. There's a whole list of all of Hulk Hogan's lies, but to that point, there's a song on that album that he released called Hulkster in Heaven.
Oh, no.
And it's about this kid. That there's one more Hulkster in heaven. Oh. A lot of people are now referencing that song and saying there's a Hulkster in, well, maybe heaven.
Wow. Okay. Well, he's done some ridiculous things over the years.
It's very entertaining when you find out. Like, if you ask him, he'll tell you he was supposed to be in Metallica. He was supposed to be play for like the Chicago White Sox or something. There's all these things that he was supposed to do, but just didn't.
Like his life wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing that kind of bummed me out a little bit, and I don't know, but because of his passing, you're kind of seeing the family. And of course, I remember watching that Hogan Knows Best show in the 90s or whenever that was.
Which that's something that was pointed out to me that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
The two basic patriarchs of the family reality format, Ozzy and Hulk, both passed in the same week.
Yeah, in that time frame, they were one of the more bigger ones.
That's crazy.
But it was kind of sad to see how that family just fell apart. And then of course his ex, they're both crazy.
Yeah,
that's the point of that story. Because she went off and started
dating Nick's close friend.
Yeah, her son's close friend, and apparently the daughter and Hulk were estranged.
Yeah, they weren't talking. Matter of fact, she found out he passed from Nick. Like Nick texted her to let her know.
Okay, so I mean that's kind of all sad, but they're all kind of. I don't know if the daughter sides with the mother, or I don't know if there's sides on this thing, and I have no idea.
I haven't really dug into the family.
But for all
dynamics.
I know is that I know a lot of them were kind of calling Hulk kind of a monster type deal. So I don't know. It was all ugly, and that's sad. So
the sad thing for me, and not really even that sad, but The last like WWE related appearance that he made was during the premiere of Raw on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw the clip they kept showing on TV.
He came out to promote his beer, and just the entire stadium just booed him out the building.
Wow.
Yeah, you tarnish your legacy that much. I mean, people don't forget.
Well, and unfortunately, it's not. I mean, the political stuff's a lot of people are mad at him for that, but to be honest,
well, it's not even really the political
I know
stuff.
that's what I'm saying. This all happened before that.
Yeah.
That was just for some people the cherry on the top of the cake.
Yeah, a lot of it was the racial stuff. And the other thing is, and this is more in the business side of things, but he was one of the most in the business for him, going into business for himself, wrestlers on the planet.
Oh yeah.
The phrase "that doesn't work for me, brother" is literally from Hulk.
Well,
when
you are the face of wrestling, you kind of get to do that.
But he did everything in his power to tarnish his name.
All I'm saying is, you get to do that. Should you do that?
Yeah.
And most of us say no, we shouldn't. He said, yes, I should.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, well, let me give you the rundown.
Yeah.
So we got to get the show going. Don't forget, tonight is Junior Livestock Sale at the Chaves County Fair. Please get on out there and help these kids out. But tell your out-of-town friends and family they can watch it live, ksvptv.com, in the Chaves County Fair channel there.
Yes, sir.
Eddy County Fairs will be tomorrow morning. You can also watch that, ksvptv.com, in the Eddy County Fair channel.
And if you're heading out, bring your folding money.
There you go. And if you do want to bid, you can team up and stuff. You don't have to, like, I couldn't cut a check for $20,000, but,
I wonder if you could have, like a representative on hand to bid for you on your behalf, and you just watch the show on ksvptv.com.
I bet you could.
Like, I'm sure that happens in some cases.
We could have and I think they do have, what's the term they use? It's not, I mean, it's like a representative. But
Proxy.
They have a proxy out there. I think I'm sure there's proxies out there anywhere on the phone.
Well, yeah.
It's at 20, sir.
Not to mention our delay probably wouldn't help the bidding process that much. Like, and sold. We got a bid.
Yeah, there is usually, depending on your internet, a 30-second to 1 minute, 2-minute delay. So that might be a bit of a problem.
Yes.
But, enjoy it anyway.
Yeah.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Like I said earlier, we're going to replay our interview we had with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. Get an update from her. Like I said, we broke the Hulk Hogan news at the end of that one. So it's not, we know. In the 8 o'clock hour at 8:15, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams will be joining us, give us an update on the last county commission meeting and other highlights from the county. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us, talking a heritage dinner as they're honoring some great organizations in our community. She may have some representatives with some of those organizations as well, too. So, but we'll talk all about the heritage dinner with her in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all of your newses and the local, national variety, business updates, and all of that good stuff. But first, your weather. I think we're done with rain, folks. It looks like it's just going to be sunny and hot for the foreseeable future.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is back over central New Mexico, and it means sunshine and hot temperatures for us today. We're going into the upper 90s. Wind should stay fairly light, though. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, our low in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Clear and 70 on Saturday night, and then we're expecting mid-90s and sunshine Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73% with winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Sunny and warm. 96 is what they're calling for our high today. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, 99. They were saying 101. Now they're saying 99. Either way, it's going to be 100 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 70 with south winds 5 to 10. Sunday, 96 and sunny with southeast winds 5 to 15. And then just kind of looking at next week through Thursday, we're going to be in the, looks like mid-90s through Thursday. 94 Monday, 94 Tuesday, 94 Wednesday, 95 on Thursday. So no talk of rain either. So that's your week next week. Sunny and mid-90s. All right, 7:20, we're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. Don't go away.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Did you know that New Mexico Military Institute offers zero-cost tuition options for eligible New Mexico residents? Whether it's high school or junior college, NMMI offers a structured, supportive, and affordable education with opportunities in athletics, extracurricular, ROTC, and the Service Academy Prep Program to prepare you for success. At New Mexico Military Institute, education doesn't have to come with overwhelming costs, especially for New Mexico residents. Join the legacy. Shape your future. Apply now at nmmi.edu. Your path to a bright future starts here.
It's one hot night as Benesse brings an exciting display of fiery Spanish guitar and dance to the Spencer stage on August 2nd. Armed with a Spanish guitar and a stage full of musicians and elaborately choreographed dancers, Benesse takes the audience on a musical journey as he launches his 25th anniversary tour. Get your tickets online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Roswell Honda is turning up the heat this summer and giving you the chance to win. Simply have your vehicle serviced at Roswell Honda and you'll be entered to win a 65-inch TV. Best of all, every service appointment gets you another chance to win. Roswell Honda will announce the winner live on Facebook on Saturday, July 26th at 12 p.m. sharp. So have your vehicle serviced by the specialists at Roswell Honda and win big. Call 575-573-6130 and schedule your appointment today with Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Don't you hate it when your kids ask, "Do you know where you're going?" It's almost as bad as when they say, "Are we lost?" The dad in me always wants to respond in a firm tone, "Of course I know where I'm going and I never get lost." The truth is, I often ask the same two questions of God. Where are we going? And are you sure this is the right way to go? I don't always understand God's ways or what he's up to, and I certainly don't have him totally figured out. If I did have him totally figured out, he might not be worthy of the worship that I should be giving. When it comes to my relationship with God, I don't necessarily need more understanding, I just need more faith. Though I may not know the full path ahead, I trust that God is guiding each step I take. In uncertainty, I stand firm in faith, knowing his plan is greater than I can see or imagine. At Country Club Road, we're on a faith journey as the body of Christ, and I hope you'll join us on our travels.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The fastest motorsport on Earth is coming to Roswell, New Mexico. From September 10th to 14th, catch heart-pounding aerial action at the National Championship Air Races. Tickets at airrace.org. Don't miss history in the making.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
In the studio this morning. Officially now from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Peachy.
Peachy keen?
Peachy keen.
Jelly bean? Is that what they used to say? But,
Blue Jean Betty Queen.
There you go. Of course, I bet yesterday was probably nice because it wasn't too hot out.
No.
It was probably pretty reasonable at the shelter.
It's...
He's been working well. So.
It hasn't been normal, so we're dealing with it, There's some days where it feels worse than others, and, when the humidity's high, it's awful with swamp coolers.
I was going to say, swamp coolers and humidity they're like oil and water.
It's been fairly decent.
Good deal. Well, it's going to get hot this weekend, but I was just curious to see folks, this is something, if you don't know, the Humane Society, if you want to volunteer, they're always looking for folks to interact with the animals. When the weather's nice, you can take the dogs out for walks and stuff. If you're going to do it right now, it has to be in the morning or at night, which is usually, so it's kind of limited on that. But they have a meet and greet room that you can go and take dogs and cats in there and roll around the floor with them, play with them, and get them. And it actually helps them become more adoptable. The more human interaction they
More
have,
social skills.
the more social skills they pick up. So if maybe you live in an apartment and you're like, well, I really can't adopt one, but I love pets, I love animals, and this is a chance to do a service, but also scratch an itch a little bit for you too. So please ask about that if you'd like to. It's probably pretty easy to do. Just come down and talk to them and make arrangements, and we'll get it set up.
Yeah, and if your time is, available in the afternoons only, like you said, we have the areas where we could bring an animal into the room and you can just have fun with them, toys, treats.
Yeah.
If you're a cat person, we got the whole cat room. If you're a cat and a dog person, we can rotate cats versus dogs.
Maybe not at the same time, how
No. We'll rotate. One cat, one dog. There we go.
Yeah.
But we always appreciate anybody that has extra time to give us to help with basically the socialization, because they see us every single day, so they're very comfortable with us because they see us every day. But we need them comfortable with new people. So
broaden their circles a little bit.
When people are looking for adoption, sometimes one animal's more scared than the other, and this helps us keep them from being too shell shocked and shut down.
Keeps the PTSD stuff down to a minimum for them, and just based off personal experience, I'm going to take a stab that the cats need a little more socializing than the dogs. Where dogs, by nature, can be more social creatures, where cats tend to attach loyalties to one or two people, and now once that's attached, it runs deep.
It does,
but it's a little harder to win that over a little bit sometimes.
And, honestly, it kind of just varies. We have a lot of kittens right now, so kittens love everybody.
They're social, yeah.
So the kittens are, whatever. But when you have dogs that are at the shelter for lengthy periods of time where they only have the same human day-to-day contact,
They develop those same tendencies?
They do. They kind of revert to like a cat, I'm bonded to you and that's it.
Sure. Well, and if they're already in an environment where they feel stressed, the one thing that
comforts them
is going to be the thing they latch to, and that makes sense. So I would, but again, this is why we need volunteers to come in and kind of loosen that rein a little bit.
Yes, and it just helps them realize that, not every human's a bad human.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of them out there.
And unfortunately, I wish we could say this, but a lot of the animals end up in there or come from places that weren't always the best sometimes.
Right.
So, a lot of times, don't get me wrong, there is this situation where someone's too old to take care of, or they had a litter and oopsie, we can't take care of 10 of these things, whatever it is. But a lot of times it's the runaways or abandons or people that do nefarious stuff with animals, unfortunately. And sometimes they bring those traumas with them. And so that's why we need to peel back these layers and kind of,
they come in kind of like
break them down
ogre.
to rebuild them back up a little bit, get them to trust again, get them to not be scared of a broom or whatever triggering thing that happens to them.
Right.
That's what we're trying to negate, basically. So you can help by doing that.
We would appreciate any and all help.
Yeah. Donations are always helpful too.
Yes. So we are actually almost at the goal for the new transport vehicle.
Okay.
For me to take animals out of town to other shelters and places.
Because we have an animal overpopulation problem here, so we have to basically pawn it off to other people.
We're trying to get a newer model vehicle because the truck that I drive now is getting up in miles. And it's just a camper shell in the back versus, air conditioned and heating. So if I'm doing summer trips, I have to leave way early in the morning so that way they're not traveling in heat. And in the winter months, we have to pack it full of blankets.
You can be ingenuitive and get one of those window units and stick it in the plugged into the side. That'd be funny, actually.
That would be. But I don't want to be called the redneck of the Humane Society. So,
but it might garner support. People are like, look, that's what they're driving around, and we got to get them something better.
Okay, yes, I'll take one for the team. But definitely, we are almost there. We are almost at the goal. So if anybody has any extra that they could help with, we would greatly appreciate it. And they can just put, on the donation memo, for transport vehicle, because we already have a fund set just for that. So anything that comes in for that, it's going into that account.
Gotcha.
And then when it's at its goal, we've already gone to the dealership, spoke to the dealerships here in town, and
got everything picked out and ready to go, just getting the money to do that. So if you'd like to help push us over the top, please reach out. And then obviously the food donations and all that are always a godsend.
They are.
Kitty litter is a big one. You can always donate kitty litter, and it's always going to be in need. As we say every time, don't get fancy with it. Buy the clumpy, big cement bag looking stuff of it.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. And
right now we are good on puppy food. So kitten food we're good on. It's just adult food for the dogs and adult food for the cats. I think we're pretty stocked on that.
Okay. Red dye is the big no-no.
Yes.
So please be mindful and make sure it doesn't have a red dye in it.
The dogs, chicken flavors typically have less of your dyes in it.
Gotcha.
Because chicken's white meat. So
I know like you said in the past. I think you're with dog food. You're pretty safe with pedigree. We try to stick to pedigree chicken just because one, it's cost effective, but it does have beneficial nutrients that the animals need. Gotcha.
It's not top shelf, but it's also not bottom shelf.
It's something, and we can't afford to feed them Blue Buffalo or whatever the high end food is all the time.
It would be nice to be able to feed them the quality food, because that would help a lot of digestive issues. However,
it's the same logic. You're not getting filet mignon at the homeless shelter. You're getting good quality food that's
you're getting staples.
Exactly, and that's the same thing at the animal shelter. You're
pretty much
feeding them caviar.
No, but they do get boiled hot dogs and shredded chicken.
I was about to say, they get spoilt as one could get. In
I think Andrew brings donuts to them twice a week, so they get snacks. But we also we had a cat come in yesterday that I had to take to the vet prior to coming here, and so we're going to be probably needing some help with some donations on a vet bill for him because he came in with a very nasty injury, and so he's at the vet right now. I don't know what the total is yet, but
do they expect full recovery kind of thing?
Yeah, they do. He'll be at the vet for a couple of days because he's going to have a procedure done.
Okay,
and
is it like a leg or one
tail?
Of those? Tail. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Very sweet, very lovable.
That's got to be a big, because you don't realize how much cats do with their tails.
Yes.
That is a big indicator of a lot of, not only telling you what they want, but also they sense things. They do all kinds of stuff with that tail. So I imagine that's a big handicap.
So if I have any kitty lovers out there, Brutus is going to need some donations.
All right. A seeing eye tail.
We need to tell prosthetic.
No. Get the cat a little dog to help him around with the tail. That'd be funny. Anyway, but yeah, if you'd like to, and to be honest, there's always vet issues with cats and dogs because anytime they come in, they get quarantined and things, and sometimes they come in with everything from parvo to fleas and ticks. I mean, and that's at the bare minimum. But sometimes they're carrying some of these communicable diseases that once they get in there, and next thing you know, we have to shut things down. So there's vets on retainer all the time, and obviously if you can, if it's not this particular cat, it's something every
It's
time.
Gonna be something. Yeah, it's a regular occurrence to where I'm like, oh, we gotta go.
Well, when you get a building full of animals, tend to be either get sick from time to time.
And it's just like you get a building full of kids. One of them's gonna get sick, and they're all gonna get it. So it's no different, just different species.
Absolutely. So if you'd like to help out financially that way, that's a great. And of course, adopting is always an amazing way to help out too. And for people that say, "Well, I never qualify and things," please, it's the only reason these are set up is these rules that are hard rules for adopting is to make sure these animals find their forever homes. We don't want these animals to get adopted out and then come right back a week later, or God forbid, get turned loose, or whatever else. We want to make sure that the homes that these animals go to are going to be their family, their forever home, and that's why when you adopt a cat, it's got to be an indoor cat. We got too many feral cats. You just can't turn cats loose.
No.
And I get it if you live in the county, but the same rules apply because the Humane Society is in the city. You have to get your animals chipped and spayed or neutered if you adopt out of the shelter, because we have to apply by city ordinances, regardless if you live in the county or in Kentucky.
Yes.
It's just how it is.
It is.
And please understand that. And I know Animal Control has a little bit different rules on their adoptions, and you're more than welcome to go over there too, because either way you're rescuing. But realistically, if you can't financially provide for this animal, if you do not have an ability for this animal to go outside, especially for dogs, and not be fenced in and run loose, that's the problem. Is I know your intentions are the best, but sometimes animals outsmart you. Sometimes animals don't have the same intentions you do, and if you don't understand how to speak their language, it's going to be a hard time you learning.
We have a dog that can open latches, and she's got 3 latches on her kennel gate because she can get 2 out of the 3 open. So we had to put one.
Oh, there's some Houdinis out there.
At the very, very top. Well, and then she gets out, and then she just goes to the first human she finds, and she's like, "Hi, I want love now."
Yeah.
And
her intention's just to be with people. And that's the big thing, is they just want to be in the room. I mean, think about if you're a pet owner. I mean, how many times your dog or cat's just in the room there, and they'll follow you around the house wherever you go and just hang out with you. They're social creatures. They want to be near the people they love. And
they need that human interaction.
And they love you guys, and so they want to be near you.
They're like, mine.
Why are you in the office? Come out and sit out with us.
And yeah, they're like the fish from Finding Nemo. Mine. Mine.
What you doing? You're not busy in there. Come play with me.
Yeah. I don't care. That computer can wait. What you're doing can wait.
Exactly.
But
Good thing the cats can't escape, because you know how they love to stand on computers.
Okay. So we've recently, we got lax for a little while because we have padlocks for all the animals' kennels.
Mm-hmm.
We got real lax, because we had a big, group of animals that were, just chill. We'd open the kennels, they could go out and do their thing. Well, then some of them started figuring out how to pop the little lever where we open the kennels. So we had to go back to putting the locks on them because...
One taught one and the rest learned.
Uh-huh. We came in one morning to a cat sitting on the table, and I was like, wait a minute, oh, man.
I feel like it's like the start of these new Planet of the Apes movies that you're seeing. They evolve. One figured out the lock. Next thing the other one's like, oh, look what that one did.
Right? They're like, we will now walk on 2 feet.
That's right. We will now do a monologue on the. But yeah, and animals are smart. I mean,
they are. They're incredibly intelligent. They learn.
And they're way more intuitive than any human being on the planet. They're reading a room probably 10 times better than you could anytime. They know. They know where the threats are. They know where it's safe. They know probably long before you do. And so that's how they live, and that's how they act. And once you learn that language a little bit, and 99.999% of the time when animals do bad behavior, it's not to be nefarious. It's because they're trying to send a communicative message, or they're reacting to something that's not going well in their environment. It has nothing to do with you, per se. And that's the same with cats. I've watched enough of them cat whisper episodes that, if they're peeing all over the house, it's not because they're mad at you, it's because there's something wrong in the environment that they want you to correct.
Or they might have a urinary tract infection.
Or they might have a medical condition, yeah.
Yeah. So typically animals, if they're very much so trained and then they start, lashing out, it's because there's an issue.
Yep. Yeah, that's.
And you got to be the detective and figure it out.
Yep. So, but that being said, if you're not prepared for all that stuff, that's why we're saying maybe wait on adopting the animal. Come be a volunteer. Come, because at the end of the day, if you're overstressing yourself beyond your means to do this, then that's not good for anybody. It's not good for the animals. It's not good for you. And let's hold off a little bit. And then when you're in a little better situation, we'll talk about that dog or cat.
Or if you absolutely love and adore animals, and you have 40 hours a week and available on some weekends, I am hiring.
Openings. Yeah, do have some openings. And if you love taking care of animals, be warned. It's a little messy.
You gotta have a strong stomach.
It's a little loud.
It's a little, yeah.
And you will be lifting bags of heavy things on occasion, like the litter bags and
dog food,
water, cleaning, things like that. So there is manual labor. But if you love your coworkers, this is a great place because you have some great coworkers, a bunch of animals that. And to be honest, once you're in the know, you're going to be like Norm for Cheers, I think. Like, how Norm walked in and cheered, Norm! You're going to be like that every time you go in the kennel once the animals know you.
They're like, hey, dinner!
And I ain't going to lie, when a bunch of... every day, my cats come running up, it makes me happy. Just does, open the door and they're both flopping around the floor waiting for me to pet them. It makes me happy. It just does. So, and it's kind of nice. You get that times 30 or whatever's in there.
50 some odd right now. But yes, I do have a full-time position open for kennel worker. We do work weekends and holidays, but you get some weekends off, and it's a rotating schedule. So it allows for some days off during the week and then some weekends off. And
yeah. And you're really doing a service for these animals too. That's the cool part. You get to be around the animals and things. And then but yeah, if you're looking for that, especially I would even offer, if you're like, maybe you're wanting a college age kid or something that's interested in veterinary science, maybe you want to be a vet or something. This is a great opportunity if you be around a lot of animals, learn the tendencies, learn the people, I guess you could say the bedside manner side of it for vets.
Yes.
Yeah, you can learn a lot of that. And not to mention, you can really see what kind of diseases and what the things that are going out there. And to be honest, if you're in the early stages of it, you may go through that and say, you know what, vet was not for me.
Honestly, yes. And there's a lot of people that will, start the vetting program and then get halfway through it and realize that they can't do it. They can't handle it. And so...
Sure, a lot easier to learn it by volunteering or working at the Humane Society.
Right.
Versus spending a year or two in college and figuring it out. So that's kind of the thing. But if you'd like to be involved. And then obviously, too, if memberships. That's a big way to support becoming a member of the Humane Society, and your children, your pets. Pretty much anything can be a member of the Humane Society. And your membership dues do pay for keeping the lights on, keeping the vet bills paid, keeping the litter boxes.
And they're just annual dues. You only pay them once a year. We send out a reminder in October to prepay for the next year ahead, and then we send out one in January for the people that didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
But it's just a one-time, once a year, or they have a lifetime where you can pay and then be on the lifetime membership forever until your life is over.
Yes. Can you will it? No,
I will my membership to my dog.
Be like NFL football tickets. People leave them in wills to people. But it's a great way to support. If there's various levels. If you have a love for animals, or if you realize, at very least, realize that we as a community have a pet overpopulation problem that we, the people, need to correct. And it starts by spaying and neutering. That's step one. When you see these puppy mills, when they show up in Walmart and Target parking lots trying to sell puppies out of the back of a van or something like that, you report that stuff. It's illegal. It's things like that. If you see people chaining up dogs, things like that.
That's illegal too.
Please report this stuff. This is all abuse. If you saw a child in that situation, you wouldn't hesitate to report them. It's no different with a dog or a cat, or not too many cats getting chained up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
and do your part there. The other part is support. Yeah, become a member. Come, volunteer time. Serve on the board or serve in there's always different roles that folks can get involved with.
We have some events that are going to be coming up that we're going to need volunteers to help with.
Got some adoption events and different events like that. And if you'd like to help out there and help, hang out with some dogs and cats on a Saturday in front of a hardware store or something, that'd be pretty nice. We could definitely use that kind of support. And of course, adopting pets is always a great way to support. The more if you have the ability and the desire to take care of and be responsible for one of these animals, then by all means, come down and rescue. I get these people have their hang-ups and like, I need this perfect pincer, AKC register. Okay. Most of us don't need that stuff. Those are people that are in the business and they do. The rest of us are looking for a loyal friend. And it doesn't matter. And I'll even throw this out there. The smart ones are the mutts. The ones that are mix this, mix that. Those are the dogs that generally have the better personalities. They're smarter.
Less health.
They're healthier. They generally are much more pleasant overall.
Some purebreds can be quite snobby.
Yes.
But before we run out of time, I need to go over some thrift store stuff.
Yeah, and then the other way to help out is support the thrift store.
So if any romance novel people are out there,
all right,
we got lots.
Any of them got Fabio on the cover?
I'm sure the majority of them have Fabio on the cover. Always laugh when I see, I can't believe it's not butter commercials. And I'm like, have haven't seen one of those in a while, but still.
I don't think Fabio is as Fabio as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly older.
A little bit. There's a pair of lawn chair rocking chairs, or for like front porch or patio.
Okay.
They're made out of wood. They got the materials.
Do they kind of look like the Cracker Barrel ones?
Kinda.
Okay.
There's a pair of those.
All right.
She's got, the little baby walkers where you put them in and the babies learn to walk on their own.
Yes.
She's got a ton of those.
Okay.
And Raggedy Ann and Andy collectors. There's an antique table with the Raggedy Ann and the Andy chair to go with them.
Oh, wow. That's probably worth money.
Yeah.
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 You're probably going to get it cheap at the Humane Society thrift store, too. And you probably play your cards right. It's valued probably way more than what you're selling it.
I think it's valued at $500, and we have it marked for $100.
There you go. So you can turn around and flip that if you know the people that would buy it. But, yeah, it's a great opportunity there. Cool.
Anybody got twin babies out there? We have a twin stroller. Those are not very easy to find.
No, I only see them in movies.
A lot. I don't think I've ever seen one downtown. But and then individuals, people who are having babies, for single babies, there's a lot of just individual strollers as well.
Okay.
We already have our Halloween stuff out.
Nice. So all you Halloween aficionados, you can
I laugh because
early.
all the memes on Facebook. It's the 4th of July. Put out your Halloween decorations.
Yeah.
So we followed suit.
Nice.
We put out Halloween.
Nice.
We're gonna get a jump start before Walmart.
Good deal. Even beating all. Although
we're beating the box stores.
Hold my beer. I bet you can get Halloween candy right now.
Sam's.
Sam's already on it.
Did they? I haven't been inside one of them in a bit. So.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Soccer cleats and baseball cleats. So football season and all of those sports seasons are coming. So we need to get stocked up on stuff. They've got a lot of cleats.
Okay.
Like barely worn cleats.
So practically brand new. So before you go spend $100 on a pair, go come by and see
or
if we got
$200-$300 now. Yeah.
See if we got some in your size and spend pennies on the dollar.
Yep. We still have the stove. They have a small China hutch, and then they were picking up a larger China hutch this morning, so they were going to have 2 hutches. They have a full-size mattress and box spring. I did not see the frame for it, but they have that. They have a dresser. Lots of bathing suits. It is swim season.
It is. It is the season.
And throw pillows for the people that like to have a bazillion pillows on their beds and couches and love seats and chairs.
I know those.
Are we looking around?
I pull like 4 pillows off my bed every night just to get into it. Yeah. What about because it is kind of back to school time, like clothing for kids, that kind of stuff? Is there a good selection of that right now?
So I think she's saving the back to school stuff because she's going to do the
like
1st through the 15th is going to be all kids stuff half off.
So
all back to school stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I should have brought a newsletter with me, and I could have told you the exact dates. That's going to be the next step. Oh wait, this was when I was supposed to bring it. Oops.
Well,
sorry.
Shoot me a text or whatever. I'll
so she's going to do uniforms, school clothes, shoes, backpacks, school related items are all going to be 50% off.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's the 1st through the 15th. So, yes, she's going to start at the 1st of August since school starts on the 4th, right?
Yes.
And then they get their actual list of, hey, you need these items. And she's going to run it until the 15th of August.
Very good.
So, backpack.
So, hold on that for a week or so and then get in there and get the kids ready for school here with the clothing and stuff. And again, I understand the costs involved in buying kids all the new clothes.
Oh, my gosh.
They're going to outgrow it, especially younger kids. They're going to outgrow it, by probably Christmas. Don't spend crazy money on that. Go get it for $1 a piece or whatever. You can get some of these clothes.
And a lot of the stuff for like the kids' clothes, honestly, you could tell it was barely worn because kids grow so fast. They're like puppies and kittens,
brand new shirts and stuff. They get shoes too.
And a lot of the clothing that I've seen them put out now still have tags on it from the store.
That's perfect. See?
And so we know that those were never worn, bought because, I'll fit in that one day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all knew that one. or with kids, someone bought them a shirt and they missed it. Oh, sorry, that was last month. They're too big for that now, or you know what I mean? And so,
or they're like, that's not the fad.
Yeah, exactly. So we do get a lot of that going on. So, uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast to let you know that we now know the third. Hulk Hogan dead at 71.
No way.
Yeah, Gene sent it through text, and I had to go confirm. This is from TMZ.
Wow.
What? Okay, wait.
It just says medics were dispatched to the 71-year-old WWE legend's Clearwater, Florida home early Thursday morning with operators stating it was regarding a cardiac arrest.
Oh, my gosh.
That is the most interesting trifecta ever.
I
Malcolm
mean,
Jamal Warner,
I was
Ozzy
wondering who was
Osbourne,
going to
Hulk
be
Hogan.
third.
Holy
I was
mackerel.
wondering who was going to be
That's
third.
like, to be honest, to me, that feels like that's half my generation.
I know.
Yeah.
It hit the 80s
Between the
hard,
Cosby
didn't it?
Show and Ozzy and now WrestleMania, brother.
It hit the 80s
So
hard.
suck it, Gen X.
Oh, my goodness.
But
it's
wow.
a hard week.
That's
No
yeah.
kidding.
The hard
I just
week.
remember
You
him.
just texted, now we know the third, and I didn't see like what popped up, and then that popped up.
Man.
I'm like, no. So I went and looked, and yeah, it's TMZ's reporting it.
Has he
so-
been sick or anything?
Not to my knowledge.
Last
no.
time I remember seeing him.
Yeah,
He's-
I'm sorry. Last time I remember seeing him in public was Donald Trump
Yeah.
rally,
Oh, yeah. He's-
and he
he's-
was on stage tearing his shirt.
He's been
and
out shilling his
looks
Real
like-
American beer.
He looked like he was in good health.
I'm going to take a stab. He either stroked out or had a heart attack.
It's
or something.
they said it was a cardiac arrest.
Okay, he had a heart.
Oh wow!
And that's always, I'm going to take a stab. That guy's probably put a beat on his heart over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Bulking up and this down and I mean, just, you know what I mean? The rigors of being a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a stab that at some point in his career he was juicing. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he straight up admitted to
Has
it.
he? Yeah, I
His,
didn't know.
the
I don't know
whole
his
the whole steroid
backstory.
scandal with Dr. Zahorian, he said that he had taken it early in his career. But I'm sorry,
Gotcha.
you don't get 24-inch pythons naturally.
I would say the 80s Hulk Hogan was juicing.
Yeah.
He was cut like a.
Yeah.
Well,
like
and a lot of what
yeah.
the professional athletes use today is a combination of steroids and also human growth hormones. So
Yeah.
a lot of them were probably, because HGH is legal. So a lot of them go that route, and it really messes with your heart.
I'm very curious what Bubba the Love Sponge is talking about right now on the show. And that's a
Oh
kind of
my
an obscure
gosh.
reference.
Yeah.
Right? People that
Yeah,
don't know.
Bubba the Love
No,
Sponge.
he was doing his absolute best to tank his career from the get-go.
Yeah, but this is going to hit different. The guy
Yeah.
died. And they were close friends at one point.
They were.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Very close.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But,
Yeah.
Let's just say we
That's
learned
crazy,
what the hotel chair was
Well,
all
the
about.
last couple of days, I've been questioning, okay, who's going to
Who's
be
gonna be the
number
third?
3? And I've
Yeah.
been following Facebook pretty close to
All right.
see who's next.
well, we better.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
Sorry.
there'll be more in the news.
Sorry,
about
didn't mean to
that.
interrupt.
We got about 5 minutes before we kick off the radio, and I want to cut you off short here. So we were talking about back to school stuff before
Yes, so-
Hulk news broke.
I know, that's sad.
It is.
1st through the 15th, school clothes, shoes, backpacks, school-related items are going to be 50% off. If you go in ahead of time, since school does start on Monday, and we know that the 1st is coming up soon.
That's
Next weekend?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. If you need to get stuff ahead of time, go and talk to Camille and be like,
Next
hey.
Friday, maybe.
I think
Friday,
so.
I think is the 1st.
Just be like, hey, I got money now, not then, or whatever, and I'm sure she'll work it out with you.
Absolutely. There's lots of opportunities here. Please come in if you need help. And then likewise, also, if you're dealing with situations, a lot of times they'll say, hey, you need clothing, you need something, don't have any money. Hey, maybe you can go help clean up some stuff over there, and we'll give you some shirts or give you whatever you're looking for.
Right.
That happens all the time. So please reach out. And then, of course, making donations. Call ahead first, especially if it's big stuff, and they'll let you know if, hey, we can take it right now, or we can come get it, or you know what? Yes, we can use that bedroom set, but I don't have the room right now. Can we hold it for a couple days, and then we'll come get it from you? No problem. As soon as we clear this out, we'll make room for that and kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's also another reason why Camille's putting out the Halloween stuff so early is because we have a plethora.
All right. So there's so much. It's so much we can't sell it just in October.
No, we got to take months.
Yes.
And then I'm pretty sure once October, Halloween's here, I think they're gonna phase in Christmas with Halloween, so you got the whole night before Christmas.
I'm about to say, yeah, it's gonna look very Nightmare Before Christmas in there. So very good. Well, that'll be cool. But Please, if you are looking to adopt, if you want to volunteer, if you'd like to donate, please don't hesitate. Come by the Humane Society. Give the store the kennel hours and the show and the thrift store hours.
So the kennels are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Gotcha.
And then the thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Very good.
We do ask, if you have donations to bring them during business hours. Don't bring them after business hours because it eliminates people from taking stuff that was meant to come to us.
Yeah, when you drop it off there, unfortunately, people loot it or destroy it. That's the sad part. It'd be one thing if they took it and used it and didn't destroy everything else, but that's not what happens.
No.
And then, of course, RoswellHumane.org is the website. You can go there, and I know they've been doing some work and updating on that, too.
Soon we should be transitioning to the new website. I think I'll be meeting with the website lady soon.
Okay.
And then I just got to add the cats and dogs to it, and I think it's good to go.
Excellent.
So you'll see a new one, but right now our old one is still up and going.
Okay. And you can also follow on Facebook.
And Instagram.
And you can, if you were looking for the latest pics of some of the adoptables, that's where you're going to find them, is on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
And I highly recommend you do, because I ain't going to lie, you're going to go through and you're like, oh, every time. It's between pics of animals and pictures of people's food. Every time. That barbecue looks good. That puppy's so cute, but that barbecue looks good.
So yesterday was Camille's birthday, and it was a very special birthday for her because she turned 50.
Nice. I've been in that club.
Yeah.
I'm in that club.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
Oh, eh? But so if you go into the thrift shop anytime this week, tell Camille happy late birthday.
Happy birthday, yes. And don't mention the 50 part.
No, she got lots of stuff yesterday, and I even baked for her. I had to leave the meeting, or after the meeting, I had to fly home and bake.
Nice. But
so John was like, "Oh, do I get samples?" And I was like, "Of course."
No, you turned 50. We're not allowed to eat this anymore.
That is out of your diet.
That's right. Very good.
So if you're in there shopping, tell Camille happy birthday.
Absolutely, and bring her a gift.
Yeah.
Or
bring her a cold Coca-Cola from Sonic. That's what she's always wanting.
That's her jam.
That's her jam.
Nice. Get her that. So, but thank you as always.
Thank you.
We'll see you here next time, couple weeks here.
Yep.
And please, folks, if you can help out, do so. These animals, they need homes, and we need good people to give it to them. So, all right, that's about gonna do it for.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. FEMA now supporting state and local recovery efforts for New Mexicans in Lincoln County who sustained damage from the severe storms, flooding, and landslides that began June 23rd and continuing. Financial assistance is available to eligible homeowners and renters in Lincoln County. FEMA may be able to help with serious needs, displacement, basic home repair costs, personal property loss, or other disaster-caused needs. Residents with homeowners, renters, or flood insurance should first file their claim. By law, FEMA cannot duplicate benefits for losses covered by insurance. If your policy does not cover all of your damage expenses, however, then you may be eligible for federal assistance. The fastest way to apply is online at disasterassistance.gov. The Roswell Police Department and Fire Department is inviting the public to join for National Night Out, Tuesday, August 5th at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center. The event running from 6 to 8 p.m., RPD and RFD and other local law enforcement, fire, and medical agencies will have some of their vehicles and equipment at the event for the kids to check out firsthand while visiting with the emergency responders. During the event, the outdoor pool will be open to the public for free beginning at 6:15. There is a limit of 200 people in the pool at any given time. Then there will be food, games, and raffles available. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is back over central New Mexico, and it means sunshine and hot temperatures for us today. We're going into the upper 90s. Wind should stay fairly light, though. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, our low in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Clear and 70 on Saturday night, and then we're expecting mid-90s and sunshine Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next, and we'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. and Israel are condemning the French president's plan to recognize a Palestinian state in a couple of months. Secretary of State Rubio describes it as a reckless decision, although the BBC's Lise Doucette says it's hardly a surprise.
France had hinted for months it would recognize Palestinian statehood. It's first in the G7 group of industrialized nations to take this step. President Macron called for a demilitarized state of Palestine, which would fully recognize Israel. There was no alternative, he said. Palestinian officials were quick to welcome his move. But the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said a Palestinian state would be a launch pad to annihilate Israel.
Diplomats from Britain, France, and Germany have been meeting with their Iranian counterparts in Istanbul for another round of nuclear talks. Attorney General Bondi's right-hand man, Deputy AG Todd Blanche, has met with the late Jeffrey Epstein's imprisoned co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, whose attorney is David Marcus.
There were a lot of questions, and we went all day, and she answered every one of them. She never just said, I'm not going to answer, never declined. You know, this is the first time the government has asked questions, so we were thankful that the Deputy Attorney General came and asked for questions. The first time the government did it. So it was a good day.
Blanche has another information-gathering meeting today with Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker serving a 20-year sentence in Florida. The heat wave that has made things miserable across the Midwest and the South is sending temperatures and humidity levels skyrocketing along the East Coast. It feel like temperatures well above 100 degrees are in the forecast. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 23 points, the NASDAQ 39 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
As young doctors in the UK hit the bricks.
Thousands of doctors in England's state-funded health system walked off the job on Friday in a 5-day strike over pay that the government says will disrupt care for patients across the country. Resident doctors, those early in their careers who form the backbone of hospital and clinic care, took to the picket lines outside hospitals after talks with the government broke down. The doctors are seeking a pay rise to make up for what their union, the British Medical Association, says is a 20% real terms pay cut since 2008. The National Health Service says emergency departments will be open and hospitals and clinics would try to carry out as many scheduled appointments as possible. Charles de la Desma, London.
Fighting between Thailand and Cambodia over disputed border areas has entered a second day, leaving at least 15 people dead, more than 60,000 have been displaced. News and analysis at townhall.com. Where do many teens go when looking for advice or a shoulder to cry on? You may be surprised, but then again, maybe not.
Teenagers are increasingly turning to AI for advice, emotional support, and decision-making, according to a new study. Common Sense Media found that over 70% of teens have used AI companions, with many finding the interactions as satisfying as talking to real friends. Experts warn this trend could harm social skills and mental health as teens rely on AI for validation and avoid real-world challenges. Concerns also include inappropriate content and the lack of regulation of AI platforms. Keith Peters, Washington.
Lawmakers on Maui have passed legislation aimed at eliminating a large percentage of the Hawaiian Islands vacation rentals. The bill aims to address a housing shortage. It was aggravated by the Lahaina wildfire 2 years ago. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, welcome to it.
Finally, Friday. Weekend can't get here fast enough.
let's just make it through today and hope everybody stays alive.
Yeah. So I'll tell you. It's funny. I'm kind of. Our boss got me. I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional.
No, it was absolutely intentional.
But he got us. So, ironically, we just played our interview last hour with Crystal from the Humane Society, and right there, John broke in about Hulk Hogan at the end of the interview.
Right.
And so, literally, the music's playing to introduce us, and I'm about to turn on the mic. A text pops up from our boss. And it's got a picture of Bono breaking, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh
And
no,
it says,
what?
World mourns as U2 frontman Bono, 65, is found alive. I'm like, oh. And for a hot minute, I thought, Bono.
That's great. That's why you read all of your headlines, kids.
It like right, and I was like, oh. So that's why I'm amused by that. So.
I wonder if when you do like a wellness check on Bono, do you knock on his door and go, hello, and wait to hear hola?
Yes. That's to say. Or never mind.
Your countdowns are 1, 2, tres, 14. 1, 2, 3, 14. What?
Thinks he sleeps in sunglasses?
I got to imagine at least on his head.
You catch him, he's in bed, still got the sunglasses on.
He wakes up there like this, all crooked.
Yeah. Do you know, like, any of your friends or any of your people in any of your life that are, like, diehard U2 fans?
No.
I don't either. I don't think they exist. I think there's people like, yeah, they're all right.
That's the thing. Okay,
the best they got.
Here's the thing with U2 is they did, for a while, have a very big following. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from them. They can fill a stadium way better than I could, but I think people tolerated them until the iPhone debacle.
Yeah.
When I can't remember which version of the iPhone that came out, but basically it was an iOS update, and it came with the entirety of a U2 album just pre-embedded in it.
Yeah, I
didn't
remember
give people
that.
a choice. It just came with the phone.
Yeah.
And people backlashed to that. They're like, I didn't ask for this. I'm not a fan. I don't want this.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think that sort of soured people on them a bit.
They were the first junk flyers in your mailbox on a phone.
Yeah.
But, it just gets me that people, like, you know how when you talk about bands and whether they're, iconic or more like county fair worthy 20 years later.
Sure.
U2 gets a weird pass, and I don't know why. Because you're right, they had a huge following for a 10-year window there.
Like Joshua Tree, and there's a couple other albums around there, but the fact that they just kept going,
like people try to put them like in that Stones that category, and I'm like, no. They had a short window, and then they've been thrown upon us for 20 years.
Sure.
You know, bands like the Stones and Aerosmith or whatever, they've been popular for 40, 50 years and relevant for 40
And I know people who that they considered those bands genuinely their favorite bands.
Yeah.
But I've never met somebody who's like how boring is your life when your claim is that you're a big U2 fan.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
just like, I literally know nobody ever in my life.
But it's the same thing with like Coldplay, for example.
Yeah.
You know,
well, there are a lot of fans now.
It was announced, by the way, that or they made it clear that they're going to let the audience know before they turn the kiss cam on them from now on. They said we want to take some time and show some of our fans out in the crowd. So if you don't have any makeup on right now, or if you need to put makeup on, now would be the time to do so, essentially. And then they turn the camera around. So
it's weird. They've been doing things in public. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, now one guy with a lot of money gets caught, and now we're going to be courteous?
Yeah.
Nah.
No. For a while until we let our guard down again.
I'm pretty sure whenever you go into any concert anywhere, there's usually signs saying you may be on camera. I know I've seen that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I had to sign a paper going into the TNA show letting me know that my image and likeness may appear on, on any Anthem Entertainment TV shows, flyers,
you want to cheat
advertising.
In public, that's on you, dummies. But
well, and it's like everybody's been saying, if you just would have acted like nothing, like nobody knew.
It would have been a thing.
It would have been a thing. Your wife's not home scouring Coldplay concert footage.
I am surprised at how quickly it escalated in popularity. I mean, it hit wildfire. I mean, like, there's trends that, and we're gonna wrap this up, but there's trends that get kind of fast and kind of big, but nothing usually goes from nobody heard of it to seniors reenacting it in senior centers.
No, it definitely has universal appeal for sure. That's the thing is everybody and their mama has come up with some form of meme, about it. Like I saw one where it was Goldberg holding Bret Hart. Famously, Goldberg ended Bret Hart's career from a misplaced kick. And
I've seen a few good ones.
Yeah, there's been a few,
one or two, but most I'm pretty over it now.
The one of the one on Colbert of an animated Trump holding the Paramount logo. That was pretty funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Oh,
I'll have to do it next hour.
Okay.
My wife did a thing.
Ooh.
And I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but we'll talk about it next hour. Because I want to get time for Bill.
Yes. I do want to quickly mention today, if you are heading to, actually, it's just the only event we have on film is the Livestock Show tonight at 7 p.m.
On film
at ksvptv.com. However, if you're following along the Eddy County Fair, they will have their 4-H FFA Awards at 2 p.m. from 2 to 3. And then at 4 o'clock, they'll have their Wool Lead Show. I could be reading that wrong. It could be Wool Lead Show. They just put all their sheeps in flak jackets and parade them around the show ring.
I think it's a Fear Factor type contest where you pull something, you put your hand in a box. It's either wool or lead. That's like the cut and Polish. Lowercase.
It's wool.
Lowercase p. Oh, okay. All right. It is 8:14. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is back over central New Mexico, and it means sunshine and hot temperatures for us today. We're going into the upper 90s. Wind should stay fairly light, though. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, our low in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Clear and 70 on Saturday night, and then we're expecting mid-90s and sunshine Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62%. Winds are currently out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. I think we're done with rain. I don't see any talk of rain for basically the next week. They're sunny, and if you like mid-90s, we got a lot of that coming too. But we do have a little up climb for tomorrow. But 96 and sunny today. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, they were saying 101 earlier in the week. Now they're saying 99 for a high. So 100 tomorrow for a high. The winds will be out of the south 5 to 10. Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies, 96 for a high. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then next week, mostly sunny, mid-90s. 94 on Monday, 94 on Tuesday, 94 on Wednesday, 95 on Thursday. So what they're saying. But it is New Mexico. Blink and it changes. So, all right, it is 8:15. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then Chavis County Manager Bill Williams will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
The gateway to your summer getaway is Roswell Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With rates as low as 0% for up to 60 months and 0 payments for 90 days on 2025 Hyundai Palisade, Santa Fe, and Santa Fe hybrids. Plus 2.99% for up to 48 months on 2025 Tucsons and 2.99% for up to 48 months on new Elantras. Or lease the all-new Tucson as low as $289 a month or the all-new Elantra as low as $239 a month. Before you get away, head for the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Don't you hate it when your kids ask, "Do you know where you're going?" It's almost as bad as when they say, "Are we lost?" The dad in me always wants to respond in a firm tone, "Of course I know where I'm going, and I never get lost." The truth is, I often ask the same two questions of God. Where are we going, and are you sure this is the right way to go? I don't always understand God's ways or what he's up to, and I certainly don't have him totally figured out. If I did have him totally figured out, he might not be worthy of the worship that I should be giving. When it comes to my relationship with God, I don't necessarily need more understanding, I just need more faith. Though I may not know the full path ahead, I trust that God is guiding each step I take. In uncertainty, I stand firm in faith, knowing his plan is greater than I can see or imagine. At Country Club Road, we're on a faith journey as the body of Christ, and I hope you'll join us on our travels.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. Back to school season is here, and Roswell Honda wants to get you geared up for the back to school giveaway. Join us from 10 to 1 for free hot dogs and ice cold Pepsi, Jolly Jumps, face painting, snow cones, and our friends at Tacos Pita selling their delicious tacos and drinks. Register to win a backpack full of supplies, a basket of school supplies, or a computer, desk, and chair. Drawing at 1 p.m. Must be present to win. See you Saturday at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Bill Williams, Chaves County Manager, back with us. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning.
How's your life going?
It's going very well. I have a lot of weeds to cut, though. Oh,
I think you are not alone. That's the one thing with the rain is the next day a foot of weeds show up.
Yeah, I did all the walking part of cutting weeds last week, and this week I've got to get my tractor hooked up because they're almost taller than the cab.
Yeah, well, I know our American Legion folks, they've been out at Memory Lawn trying to attack those weeds, and I think the weeds are winning. The way I'm hearing it, they broke a tractor twice this week out there trying, and yeah, it's just been a fun week of that. So.
Yeah, those guys are amazing to take that on and just keep that up and making it look better.
Yes,
it's
they could use help, folks. They're always if you're done whacking your weeds and want to whack some more, they've got plenty for you.
Well, they do a really good job. It's very much appreciated. Gosh, we have family out there, and if it weren't for them, those graves would be overgrown completely.
Well, and our goal is to make it a lot better and a lot more nicer. It just takes money and time and a lot of work to do that.
A lot of time and a lot of dedicated people. It's really cool.
So we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, well, they're doing good.
But of course, we once again we're delayed a week to our normal county summer meetings. Tend to they get moved a little bit because of other events going on.
The June meeting, we have the New Mexico counties usually falls during the same week as our commission meeting, so we usually move it ahead a week.
And this is budgetary.
And this one is so that they have an extra week to adjust the final numbers on the budget. Balance checkbook before we actually call it. Because the interim budget is actually the budget. I mean, that's where we've already decided this department gets this department gets that. We're going to buy this before the end of the year, those kind of things. It's just the reconciliation, making final payments to contractors, those kind of things, the final adjustment to numbers. And that was one of the things they did yesterday. They approved the big, beautiful budget for
there you go.
County. So,
it is passed. But,
yes.
But yeah, that's because for folks that obviously financial people know that July 1's kind of a new year fiscally. That's the new fiscal year. So they got to basically button down last year and solidify this year's budget.
Right. Kind of so and it's already approved through DFA and everything. The interim budget has to go through Department of Finance Authority and they assure that everything's appropriate.
Yeah, the budget's been kind of done for a while. It just has to go through a lot of eyeballs before it finally says, all right, ominous, so let it be written, so let it be done. It's a budget.
Right, because we have our special budget hearing, public budget hearing. We had that on May the 8th, and then I believe it was May the 15th was the following Thursday that we actually approved the interim budget. So then it just sets in June, and then come July, we like I say, approve the final budget. So it works out well.
Very good. So, but that being said, meeting was this week, not last week.
That's correct. So we started out with some kind of fun stuff. So after we got through our determination of quorum and approval of the minutes and all that kind of stuff, we had a presentation by VFW Post 12184. So we started working with them a while back. Mm-hmm. We have the walking trail around Chaves County, around the block. I mean, for the community, it takes several different loops, and it's for exercise. We've got exercise equipment, more strenuous exercise equipment near the sheriff's department where athletic people are, and then we have some lower impact stuff over near I Associates because people come in with grandma and grandpa, and they might not want to sit there for 2 hours while they're waiting, but they can actually walk around a easy trail and have some easy exercise equipment.
Yeah, it's kind of and then of course other people, they use both to plan some workout regimes. But it's basically it's a free fitness area basically.
Right, and we call it the Chaves County Fitness Trail. Mm-hmm. There's a bridge there where the detention pond is that holds the water before it goes across Southeast Maine.
Gotcha.
There's a big pond there at the corner of essentially Hobbs and Southeast Maine. There's an Allsup store there.
Okay.
And we talked to the veterans, and they wanted to plant some trees in honor of each branch of the military. So they did that, and they also planted a tree for every branch of the military plus the MIA.
POW MIA.
POW MIA. Mm-hmm. And they'll have little plaques on each of those trees to recognize each branch and what they've done. But they've adopted that portion of the trail to keep it clean and neat and good vegetation growing.
Nice.
And there's the bridge right there. And they thought that was a perfect spot because you can kind of stand on that bridge and look out. It's kind of like a little lake there.
Sure.
When it's this time of year. Sometimes it's like a desert. As
we do live in southeast New Mexico. It doesn't always have a big pond.
But when it rains, and especially when it's rained this much, it's quite a striking pond. And there's some big pine trees there. And
little oasis in town.
We have ducks and stuff there from time to time. And so I thought that was a good point for their people to go and reflect.
Sure.
Sometimes they just need some quiet time.
Absolutely.
A place to look off and think about things. And so they've adopted that area, and we're trying, I've been working with the mayor, and we're trying to rename that street there that goes behind Allsup's, and there's a big cul-de-sac there.
Okay.
It's actually Grand Street. So it goes across Southeast Main and to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
There are no addresses off of that street because
Allsup's
is addressed off of Southeast Main.
So that won't make a really big expense for anybody.
Right. So our hope is to rename that Veterans Circle so that they'll have a place. They want to do things on the south end of town. They want to have cookouts and that kind of stuff. So it'll give them a place where they can pull in, park, be off. Not a danger to anyone, won't affect Allsup's, won't affect anything.
I like it.
Yeah. But they'll have kind of their own little dedicated spot where they can do events, whatever they want to do. So
absolutely.
So we're really excited to be a part of that. And
that might be a safer space to do a flag retirement ceremony, depending on the.
Well, that's true. That it's just a nice large cul-de-sac, dead end, plenty of access to get there. There's plenty of parking nearby.
Fire trucks will be right there in case we get out of hand.
Or if it rains, you can always get a bucket brigade from the pond. There you go.
To the pond.
Yeah. To the pond, Batman.
Well, I'm just saying, veterans and fire doesn't always lead to good things. Just saying.
Well, now that you mention it, it's kind of unsupervised.
We need supervision.
That's funny. The other thing that we did that I thought was kind of a neat thing, we always have our annual longevity awards for our employees, but we also have an annual safety awards thing for our employees.
Speaking of
fire brigades. So we generally hand out certificates and little incentives for people who've been safe through their careers. There are some people who have not had as much as a paper cut.
Sure.
And each time someone's hurt or an accident happens, we go through a committee and they determine if it was avoidable, what we can do.
What can we do to avoid that happening again?
Smart. And we've got a guy, Joseph Kobos, who's our safety guy. He does a really good job, but he thought of something this year. He says, what we ought to do? We ought to honor the milestones a little bit more than just everybody. Great job for safety. Some of you have been here a year and you haven't done anything wrong, and your time always starts over. So you get these little incentives. But if you go 6 years and then you run into something in the pickup, then you go back to year one and you start over again. But he says do milestone awards. So every 5 years, if you don't have any accidents, then you get a milestone award.
Okay.
And it's just recognition more than anything. But
it shows it. But it also, life happens. There's always a thing. But it's like, look, one year we had a thing, but look, 5 years here. So I always look. It almost sounds like like if you're playing a game and you advance to a level, but then once you hit your tier, you plateau there.
That's
and then
exactly
you
what
start,
you're saying.
It's
like I'm reaching for the next tier. So I got 5 years with no accidents. That's the first milestone. 5 years, and we do it in 5 year increments.
Sure.
And so I'm not going to do anything. I want to get to that 10 year. I want to hit that next tier.
Sure.
And so he kind of came up with that idea, and some of us, I've been working in the office mostly since I've been at Chaves County. It's harder to hurt yourself in the office, although it's possible.
Although scissors are sharp.
That's right. People, do things like leave a desk drawer open. Somebody comes around the corner and somebody gets hurt, or you run into a door, or all kinds of.
Exactly. Were you carrying your soup and someone opens the door on your soup and hits you?
Well, if I hope they don't count me dumping my coffee because I do that pretty regularly. But,
well, just depends on where it lands. In the lap, could
talk
be
with
trouble.
my hands and knock the coffee over papers, but it's just papers. I haven't burned anybody yet. But some of our jobs, though, you got people at the road department, flood department, facility maintenance that are out there on heavy equipment all the time. Get run over. They could run into
Sure.
things. You cut your fingers off. You know, you get
Sure.
electrocuted. You know, there's lots of issues.
Well,
And
then you
those-
got people that their whole job is to go to danger, and you know.
yeah. So it's kind of a
with
neat
fire
thing.
and-
But
yeah.
we had the 5-year pins or recognition, 10-year recognition, 15 recognition, and believe it or not, there's people at the county who've been there for 20 years and never as much as, like say, a paper cut. Wow. Never been involved in an accident. But wait, that's not all. There's more. We had 2 individuals that had 25 years without an accident at Chaves County. First of all, 25 years at the same place, like we've talked about before in longevity awards, but 25 years without any kind of accidents.
With
or anything.
safety,
They've just done a really good job of looking out for themselves and others. And that's, of course, what Joseph is after, is assuring that everyone knows what's going on around them and everybody's safe and happy. So
And
it's
I'm
kind
going
of
to take a
neat
stab, too.
stab.
Pardon the pun.
Is there a safer way to do that, Mike? Come on.
Probably. I will venture a guess
Oh, there you go.
that all of their coworkers seem to, you know what I mean? Like when there's that person, you know, especially if it is a higher risk job, you're like, follow that guy, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? And I'm
you
thinking,
kind of look up to those people
exactly.
that aren't always leaning off the top of the ladder where it says this is not a step, and you know those people typically have problems.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of it's you know, these are people also too that within their offices, their different departments, they're probably the rock stars in these groups already, and now we get to publicly
and you know what's interesting
brag
is a
on 'em
lot
little
of
bit.
that translates to the way they do their jobs too. You know, they just are in tune with everything that's going on around them. They cross their T's, they dot their I's. Nothing gets by them.
Sure.
And you know, I think there's more to that culture than just being safe and not tripping over your shoestrings. You know,
Sure.
it's
safe and efficient.
Yeah. So anyway, that was kind of a neat thing that several of our employees were noticed
Absolutely.
for
And
what
it-
they did.
And it does, and at the end of the day, like you said, it does give. I mean, yes, it gives people a goal, just like a game or something. But at the same time, it's that constant reminder to think safety, and even when maybe there's the time, well, it's getting close to quitting time, but I got to get this done. Wait a minute, I need to make sure I do my checklist right, or whatever it is. Yeah,
I want to be sure I get back tomorrow.
Exactly.
So, you know,
it
that's
does.
kind of
It does add that extra little level of reminder, saying, you know, are we doing the right thing right now?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
so,
like it.
So that all happened. We had an interesting. We had 2 P&Z cases yesterday. One of them was kind of a surprise because I've lived here for a long, long time. I grew up in the country. I lived in Hagerman, drove back and forth to Roswell, worked in farm community. We used to have a grocery store called Crossroads Grocery. So if you go
Okay.
down the old Dexter Highway, right where you cross the railroad tracks, there's a little store there.
Yeah.
You used to have a gas station and a small store.
Sure,
and,
convenience store kind of deal.
Yeah, so
5 and dime.
yeah, this was, of course, I'm talking 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago.
Back when you had to, you know, get a lot of things in one little location there.
So that's not been a store for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Someone bought the property and they decided they wanted to sell hamburgers, burritos, things, just a little small stop place where people out in the county, if you're driving tractor from here to there, you can always stop and
Get a
and
burrito or get a
If
burger,
you're coming
yeah.
from Roswell and going to Dexter.
Usually those are
you
the
can
best
stop.
places to eat, places like
Well,
that.
I've actually been there. They're very good. They have
Yeah.
a good burrito. I haven't had the hamburger, and I heard yesterday that the hamburger is really good.
Nice. Yeah, those are usually, because if people have to travel to get to it, or then they will. Like, there'll be people go out of town, and then that's a mark of a good place, you know.
Well, it was something that we've missed for a long time. These people bought it, but they had to change their zoning. It's because it's agriculture, residential, and years ago that was probably grandfathered in. Like I said, I'm talking 50 years ago,
Sure.
and it had been there a while when
it
I
just
was
gotten to be known as
younger
that's
guy.
what this is kind of thing.
And
yeah.
so they kind of went through the process to make sure that they're following all the rules and did that. So that was a real neat P&Z case, and several people, well, 3 people I think in the crowd stood up and says, I didn't come for this, but I want to say that's a great idea. You know, so
I just have to be
we
in
missed
here.
that. And we have one other place out in that East Grand Plains area, and that's over at Graves Farm. They've got a food truck over there, Vero's, I believe it's called.
Okay.
And so those of us who live out in that area, we appreciate that we can run out there.
Sure.
It's pretty handy for us to do that. So.
Absolutely, yeah, and plus it, you know, now it's no excuse. You're like, okay, well, I'll get the farm store and grab some more tomatoes or whatever out there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this time of year, we're ready to start getting
our chili time.
Yeah,
well, you can smell that.
It's
They don't even have to advertise that. They just fire up the roaster.
Chili
and there we
roasting.
go.
Yeah, people come from miles around. So it's like termites following pheromones or whatever.
Well, it's almost like it just people in this part of the country. They just all of a sudden you hit July, August time frame, and all of a sudden you're like, that time, folks. You're literally like, it's really, and they'd just be walking in. Right? Hey, wait. Oh, it's that time, folks. There it is. Green chili season hits. You just smell it. There it is. You know when it is.
We're fortunate to live in chili country. Here, chili country. The other P&Z case turned out it was not really a P&Z case.
Okay.
Because the person withdrew their application prior to the meeting.
Okay.
What it was for is a group brought in a bunch of wind turbine blades, and they wanted to recycle them. So I guess they cut them up before they hauled them in into 3 or 4 pieces, but then they were grinding them into smaller pieces without appropriate approvals and all that.
Gotcha.
Which they're fiberglass and epoxy composites,
so there's a
and
lot
metal
of
and balsa
remnants
wood.
that
And of course, fiberglass. Nobody likes fiberglass dust.
No,
and
doesn't do good
and
things.
there was a lot of concern from the neighbors. 17 people showed up, even though this was withdrawn, and
Okay.
said, "Hey, we want to make it clear that we oppose this.
Gotcha.
So if this comes back later, we don't think this should be here. We're not opposed to doing what you got to do with recycling the blades, just not that close to town."
Sure.
Because it was within a few hundred feet of some businesses, residences, and stuff, and of course, when the wind blows, that dust becomes airborne.
And if that gets in people's lungs and everything, that's bad business. So.
Well, between lungs and just itching, if you don't inhale it, just
mention
fiberglass is just
not to mention all the livestock and everything else out there. That's a lot of.
Well, people were just concerned,
property,
and that's the way it's supposed to work. Is people are concerned, and so
absolutely,
even though it was withdrawn, there had been a recommendation of approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Mm-hmm.
So they make their recommendation body, and they recommend to the full board that it be approved.
Okay.
And so since they had already approved that it could move forward, the commission thought that we better make sure that we go on record and say that this is not approved, has not been approved, so that there's just no confusion if they come back 5 years from now, 10 years from now, next week,
Gotcha.
that
So did they abandon the project? Is that the
yeah?
plan? Is that what
they
happened?
actually finished what they had brought in, and so
Okay.
basically they said, well, if this isn't going to work out, then we just won't bring any more in. I guess it's kind of the direction they went.
Basically
But
tried it once, and basically they basically rather be scolded than ask for permission,
Well,
kind of thing. And they basically didn't get permission. Said, "All right, we're done."
they probably didn't realize that had to be a zoning change and to do something like that. That kind of thing happens. People make mistakes, but once we figure it out, we have to follow the procedures and do things right.
Absolutely.
So
this is why the commission meets and does it, to protect all the
Right.
citizens.
And I
best
think
they
when
can.
the neighbors all came out and said, "Hey, we're not for this," they recognized that this maybe is not the right place for it.
Makes sense.
I don't know all the details,
But it sounds like it worked itself out.
Yeah, it seems like it did, and the commission just crossed their T's and dotted their I's and made sure that they said this is not an
from here
approved use.
forward.
This is not an approved use of this place.
Gotcha.
And they didn't preclude them from coming back and going through the process. They want to try it, but it's pretty unlikely that would ever.
I imagine they'd have to
happen
do some
at this
kind of
point.
upgrades to the facility or
Well, they were
property to
doing it
do all
out
that.
in the open air,
Okay.
and so
They did it in a
if they did
contained-
it in a contained
with a
building
filtration
and stuff, it might be a different thing.
Right.
And then yesterday, the environment department called and said, "Oh, well, we probably should have done something with that." And we said, "Yeah, do you think? We talked to you twice and told you that we needed your assistance on this. It's an air quality issue." But anyway, so that was a non-issue issue. So. But like I say, there were 17 people showed up and said, "Hey, we want to be sure that the county commission knows what's going on."
Sure.
And so now I'm going to swing off of our agenda and tell a story that I've told about 6 times because we have the final chapter in this story.
Very good.
So we have a brand new bridge on Brasher Road.
Yes.
Heading towards the city landfill.
Mhm.
So several years ago, about 6 years ago, there was a local company that wanted to put in a cement plant out there. And when we had the hearing, people came in by the dozens saying, we live in that neighborhood. We do not want this plant there. And part of it was because of some miscommunication on exactly what was going to happen there. And the owner of the company literally went door to door and talked to the people and alleviated their concerns. So that part of it backed off.
Sure.
But the part that came to our attention during that time, because the concrete plant did go into business, people did that, but they came and told us, you don't understand, this is a narrow county road. Our county roads aren't super highways, but you've got a 24, 28 foot wide road. And there was a bridge crossing the Hondo River on Brasher Road that had no shoulders or anything on it, so it's narrower than the road. And so what people tend to do, I grew up in the country, so I always drive in the middle of the road. What normal people do is drive in their lane, and when it gets narrow, then they move over to the middle, migrate to the middle, which is not uncommon. I mean, it happens all the time.
Sure.
To add insult to injury, this bridge going over the Hondo had a very high profile.
So you couldn't really see the other side.
So you couldn't see what was on the other side. So you move to the middle of the road, you start the approach up the bridge, and you get to the top and you see that there's a garbage truck heading towards you at 60 miles an hour. And
that's not the place you want to see that.
And you know, I personally had been over that bridge hundreds of times, but I don't live in that neighborhood. I didn't happen to go over the bridge at the exact same time as the truck.
So
I didn't know.
Didn't put that together. Yeah.
But when the people told us, I drove out there and said, oh my gosh, they're absolutely right. We've got to do something about that. So we aggressively pursued funding, because that's what government should do. People should let them know what's going on. We should be responsive to what happens.
Yeah.
And we were. We aggressively pursued funding sources to replace that bridge, because bridges are not cheap. And we were successful. The legislators gave us full funding to replace that bridge. We did a good job of explaining why we needed a bridge and how it was unsafe for the community.
Plus, I would imagine you want something that's a little stouter to handle the increased concrete traffic.
Yeah, trucks and stuff are bigger and heavier these days, you know, and there's no telling when the original bridge was built, you know. So anyway, we were so excited that, and I think I talked to you on the radio that, hey, we found out about this bridge. We went after funding, and we got our funding, just proud as punch. And then it was line item vetoed by a governor. And so then I came back and said, well, remember last month I told you that we got this. Well,
the rug got pulled.
The rug got pulled, so we're not doing it. But we didn't give up, because we knew it was still our responsibility to work towards getting that replaced.
Nonetheless, the bridge needs to be replaced.
So we continued, we pressed on, we continued to be aggressive with funding requests. Of course, COVID came through in this time, and you know, that slowed a lot of things down, but we were successful. We finally got funding, and it was approved. And so then we had to go out for the design of the bridge, and we had to go out for contractors. And that's the part that was kind of slowed down through COVID and stuff. But
material and availability and everything.
Went out for contractors and everything. And that bridge was completed about 2 weeks ago. So enjoy it. Drive down Brasher Road, and you'll see that there's a bridge that's wide enough to handle 2 cars easily, or 2 semis, whatever.
Sure. 2 vehicles can pass simultaneously.
And you can see them on the other side as they're coming towards you.
Very
you know,
good.
And that's just a really good example of how our county works to do what people let us know.
Well, I'm sure the folks that travel that daily over there are very happy that they finally get to.
Yeah,
it took a minute, but we got it.
Well,
so.
It took 6 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, as we say, you know, government doesn't always move fast, and you know, we were trying from the very beginning, but there's a variety of factors that always come in.
Global things that happened in between there that kind of move the lines too a little bit.
The other thing that caused a little bit of a delay, we were scheduled to start Monday, right after the flood. So the flood happened on the weekend, the big flood, and of course we couldn't do anything for quite a while until the waters receded and other repairs were done and everything.
Sure.
But anyway, it's completed, it's done. Now here's another little tidbit about government. I believe that the initial estimate of probable cost on that bridge, I think, was $485,000.
Ooh, what's the
6 years later, that bridge cost a little over $1 million. So you know, here we, and of course, you know,
almost just over doubled.
And you know, of course, COVID had a lot to do with that. Prices of everything went up.
Absolutely,
people didn't want to work anymore. Lots of factors go into that. But
back
anyway,
when this project started, how much did you pay for a cheeseburger? What are you paying now?
Well, I saw that everybody in California is, or McDonald's and everybody is firing all their staff because they have to pay them $20 an hour to make the cheeseburgers.
Well, all I know is I'm seeing menus around town, and I'm seeing $15 hot dogs. So you tell me.
pretty dang good hot dog.
Better be.
But yesterday we went through several agreements. We had 7 agreements for leases on our buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And another little thing that came up yesterday is there's a clause in our agreements that says you're responsible for all the maintenance, or you're responsible for the day-to-day maintenance, certain parts. And there's a couple of different, we have our boilerplate kind of stuff, and there's a couple of different ones. And Commissioner Korn came up to me before the meeting. So I was going through this stuff. I mean, he does a really good job of going through stuff with a fine-tooth comb.
Sure.
And he came up to me and says, I don't know what you're saying in this deal here. So are we responsible for the building, or are they responsible for the building? And so I got the opportunity to explain it during the meeting. I talked to Commissioner Korn, and then Commissioner Dana during the meeting asked a question. And it was essentially the same thing. So, well, it's a good time to explain that.
Sure.
So there are 2 different, you might say there's 2 different types of buildings the county has. One is if a 501c3 entity goes to the state and says, hey, we need some money to build a building, or we need some money to buy a building, or we need whatever money. Because of the anti-donation clause, they cannot give the money directly to a nonprofit organization. They have to have a fiscal agent. So the county ends up being the fiscal agent in many cases. So, for instance, if someone comes forward and says the legislature gave us money to buy a building for this cause, and we're going to be their fiscal agent, we get the building bought, but on paper, in reality, it belongs to the county because they can't give it. But we allow that entity to use it, and we have to charge fair market rental value for these properties as well. So if it's 5,000 square feet and it's so much per square foot, they should have to pay that. However, these entities that provide services to the community, we offset the rent based on how much the dollar amount of those services be. For instance, if you're taking care of abused children, or
if you're doing a service for the county that saves the county money, then we say,
you do this many hours of work a year, and this is a dollar amount affixed to that, or you deliver people to like the veterans transport. We don't do a building with them, but
it's basically stuff you would have had to spend money on to cover. They're doing it for you, so they get a tax credit for that.
So the 5,000 square foot building should cost you $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, but you provide $1,800 a month in services to the community, so it offsets that. So we can not charge you anything. We do always charge an administrative fee just to handle the paperwork. It's about $1,200 a year, at the most.
But it's basically a barter system.
It's a nominal cost.
Yeah.
But those buildings don't really belong to us. So they bought that building, and so the county taxpayers should not be the ones responsible for fixing the air conditioner if the roof starts leaking or whatever.
Right.
However, we do have the liability on those buildings, so we assure that they have insurance, and we monitor kind of the condition of them. And we're working with an entity right now that their building had over the years gotten worse and worse and worse. They didn't have the money to fix it, and it's their responsibility. But we got to the point where, look, we've got to work together to get this building fixed. If we don't, we'll have no choice but to ask you, because we can't put people here if it's not safe.
Exactly.
And we worked together on that. They were able to obtain some funding. They were able to fix their building back up, and so they should be in good shape for years. But the people that own their own building, or technically it's their building, they need to be responsible for the day-to-day maintenance. There's other buildings, like when we remodeled the courthouse downtown, we bought the medical complex that was next door to the county building. Of course, we had built a brand new county building so that we could remodel the courthouse, and everybody moved out of the courthouse. The judges had no place to be, so we had the courtrooms there at the new building, but we had to have offices for the judges, and so we bought the medical complex for them to have offices. So those buildings there belong to the county. So if someone leases those from us, like Dr. Winter leases, they're responsible for the day-to-day maintenance, clean your windows,
but basically they're
touch
tenants.
Up your wall, paint stuff. Yeah, exactly. So if that big air conditioning unit goes out or the roof starts leaking, we're responsible for that. So we were able to clarify that in the meeting, that between the 2 types of buildings, if it's truly a county-owned building that we lease spaces out and stuff, we maintain those big items. The day-to-day stuff, they may have to be responsible for painting or house cleaning or whatever.
Basically, if you rented a house, your responsibilities as a rental,
it's
maintain it,
a very similar
keep
thing.
it clean, keep it.
And even though on paper they both show that belong to Chaves County. Really, the 501c3 is the one who got that.
It's kind of like you're if you co-sign
the
on the
property
loan
manager
kind of thing.
more.
Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So anyway, we went through that and got all those approved. It's kind of a typical thing we do every July after the beginning of the new year. We have to renew all the leases and ensure everyone's insured and all those kind of things.
Very housekeeping.
Yeah. We also approved the LGRF, the Local Government Road Fund.
Okay.
Monies came through for next year. So it's about 50 miles or so, a little over, that was approved by the state of New Mexico, and that's a cost share program. They pay 75% of the cost, and we pay 25% of the cost for those roads. They have 3 different categories. One is the arterial roads program. One is what they call cooperative program, and the other is the school bus. And it's just named school bus. Probably a throwback to many, many years ago when the school buses actually
had
were
to go down
following certain routes and stuff. But so they break it down to those 3 categories, and we have to turn in roads that meet all the criteria 6 to 8 years without having been resurfaced. And we'll give them maybe 100 miles of roads, and they say, well, here's the dollar amount that you turned in. We'll pay this much, depending on the year. It fluctuates considerably. And then whatever they fund, they pay 75%, we pay 25%, and then those other roads we work through in our general fund. So we got those all done yesterday. All those were approved.
So this is kind of like another, again, housekeeping thing, because they're going through and saying, all right, our additional fundings from that's earmarked for different things. Let's get all that sorted out. Now that we're sorted through that, here's what we got in the general fund to take care or fill the voids and gaps where these didn't meet.
And what's kind of funny about this is we're always kind of a year behind on this. So this was the funding that was approved. We accepted the offer, basically. Now then the contracts will come in August, September sometime. We'll sign those, but these are the roads that will be fixed next year. So the roads that they're fixing this year were the ones that were approved at this same time last year.
Sure.
So,
and these are kind of like the pre-normal wear and tear, and then obviously things like flood hits, and that alters that a little bit on needs and things.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah,
it does.
So, but this is more of that housekeeping type stuff here. So.
Right, and so we went through that. We did our annual agreement with the local economic development, Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District Council of Governments. They assist us with any kind of work that we do, asking legislators for money, helping us with contracts and CDBG projects. So they provide a lot of services to us for a very small amount. And across the state, there are COGs throughout, different communities and stuff. Most of them are not as efficient as ours. Ours is the go-to one. Dora Batista and her team over there, they are looked at as the premier. This is what everybody says. I wish ours was as good as your council of governments. Our council of governments is not this good, not this effective. But Dora, Paul, Juan, Pansy, all of them over there just do a really good job and very responsive, very receptive, and they lobby, with the legislators for all of the causes throughout this portion of.
Sure.
It's not just Roswell, it's not just Chaves County, but throughout
New Mexico.
this portion. Yeah.
Well, obviously a lot of us share common issues there, so it is generally speaking for many there. So yeah.
So before we run out of time, I suspect we're probably getting close.
We got about 5 minutes here.
Okay, good. I only have about 10 minutes worth to talk about. So we approved a request for a loader that was damaged in the flood. We had a loader and a dozer that were in low ground and completely covered with water. So after the insurance came through and everything, we went ahead and worked towards replacing those. A couple of out-of-state travel things. We had the opportunity to represent New Mexico. Chaves County in particular worked really hard at that. We went to the National Association of Counties in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Their annual meeting was there this year. So we have the National Interest Electric Transmission Corridors. We talked about that a couple of months ago.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
So that's 1,841,000 acres in the state of New Mexico, a 5 to 15 mile wide corridor running through 8 of our counties in New Mexico. and 5 counties in southern Colorado for another 363,000 acres. There's another transmission corridor proposed, and I think they call it the Tribal Lands Connecting Corridor, and that's North and South Dakota, part of Nebraska, northern Missouri. Initially, there were 10 of these that they had established, and we're down to 3 of them. But the problem is the FERC, which is the Federal Energy Regulation Commission, and the Department of Energy are the ones doing this. They have the ability to bypass Congress and condemn lands. First of all, any large amounts of lands that are purchased should be approved by Congress,
Absolutely.
not an agent who works for the government making side deals. And they empowered themselves to be able to make those deals, and literally they rewrote their rule number 77 by the FERC, says that they no longer have to deal with local governments. They don't have to find out what the culture and customs are of the government. They don't have to do anything. If they work out a deal with their buddy over here, the energy broker, okay, we're going to condemn this land over here. We're going to take this ranch. I don't care if it's been in their family for 5 generations or what. And there's no requirement for them to coordinate with local governments. And so this was brought to our attention by cattle growers and ranchers throughout the state. All of our counties got on board, not only the counties that were directly impacted. There's 8 of us, which it's Eddy, Lee, Chavis, Roosevelt, Curry, Quay, Union, and Otero are the counties that are all affected. We had one of our town hall meetings in Lincoln because they've supported us. Otero and Chavis were able to go there and have a meeting that drew in more
centrally
people.
Located, yeah.
We also had people from other counties across the state, other commissioners across the state, agree that this is wrong, that the federal government should not overreach. And
well, if it's not even directly impacting them, it's the next thing that will.
You know, the first thing we say when we talk about the transmission corridors is none of us are opposed to the idea of making sure that adequate power is in the places it needs to be. But why do you need a 5-mile wide corridor or 15 miles? Up by Narragansett, it's 15 miles wide, about 30 miles high. So,
yeah, and then why?
You know,
by the way, we don't get a say in why you need it or how you need it or what you can do to
use
this,
it for,
which is our land, our stuff to govern right now anyway.
You know, Chavis County's always been a strong proponent for multiple use on lands, on public lands. You know, private lands, it's the people's option to do what they feel is following planning and zoning. You know, as long as you follow the rules, you know, you can do what you need to on your private
property.
Approach
on your neighbors.
But public lands, you know, we always believe in multiple use on public lands to get the best bang for the buck because we're paying for those lands, and so we should be assured that everybody has an opportunity to use those lands.
Absolutely.
So anyway, they circumvented the process. They did this. So all of our counties got together, and little old Chavis County was on the national stage here last month, or actually it was this month. Kind of lost track of time.
Technically still in July, yeah.
I kind of lost track of time. But we worked with all the other counties. Everyone worked together on this. We had 5 town hall meetings, I think, across the state in different portions of the state that were affected by this or nearly affected in Lincoln County's case. We all worked together. Commissioners worked together. They all talked together. They said, how are we going to work around this? We passed resolutions opposing this. We asked for cooperating agency status, which is not the same as coordination, but you know, we all asked for that. We all wrote letters saying what's going on. We reached out to congressional people, the energy cabinet. We've done a lot of work. In March, we went to National Association of Counties Legislative Conference, and we presented. Michael Perry presented to one group. I presented to another group. Cliff Wade helped me present to another group. And so we presented the resolution opposing this until such time, not saying absolutely not my neighborhood, but you need to come talk to us so that we find out what you're doing and make sure that it fits within our communities. And every county, just like every landowner, is different. Every county has different needs and wants. And so what fits in Union County may or may not fit in Chavis County. And so we want to have a seat at the table so we can decide these things. So we went and we got the interim resolution passed, and that only stands until the annual convention. And then it has to be presented to the full body.
Gotcha.
And so we were successful in taking our resolution. We got it approved by 3 committees. So it was approved by 1 and cross-claimed by 2 others. And so the first committee that approved it was the Energy, Environment, and Land Use Committee. and they overwhelmingly approved it. We took it to the national floor. The general membership voted on that, and now the National Association of Counties will be lobbying on our behalf for the next year to oppose this. This all came from local government, from all the local commissioners working together, talking together.
Sure.
The county clerk in Curry County and one of the commissioners from Roosevelt County, I sent them some information, and others sent them information too, I'm sure.
Nice.
They wrote the actual resolution. I did the presenting, and Michael Perry did presenting. Cliff helped us out with that. And we, little old, southeastern New Mexico,
That's awesome.
not only spoke for New Mexico, little old Chavez County not only spoke for the state, but we spoke for the nation.
Yep.
And so that's kind of a cool thing.
And got some more ammo for
Right.
to keep the fight going. So we're out of time.
Yeah, I knew we were.
Bill, as always, appreciate it.
Thank
you. If anything else we can do, please let us know. And
Appreciate that.
And if we need more to or whatever, and anything else, and if we got to get more in depth on that stuff, we can do that.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico News in Progress.
West and the South have experienced in recent days a heat wave sending temperatures and humidity levels soaring. The on-again, off-again Gaza ceasefire talks off again. The discussions in Qatar have been cut short by the U.S.
President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff says mediators made a great effort, but Hamas does not appear to be acting in good faith. He says the U.S. will consider alternative options to bring the hostages home and try to create a more stable environment for the people of Gaza.
Correspondent Ken Lorman. French President Macron announces plans to recognize a Palestinian state. The first of the G7 nations to do so. Recognition would come in September. It is being condemned, though, by the U.S. and Israel. The late Jeffrey Epstein's imprisoned co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, is expected to meet again today with Attorney General Bondi's deputy following a day-long Q&A yesterday.
The meeting between Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche is a part of the DOJ's effort to seem transparent. That's after the department got backlash over an earlier refusal to release additional Epstein records. Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, David Oscar Marcus, after the meeting.
There were a lot of questions, and we went all day, and she answered every one of them.
Epstein died in 2019 in a New York jail while awaiting trial. I'm Haya Panjwani.
On Wall Street, the Dow up 115 points, the NASDAQ ahead 42. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Court has upheld some of a former Syrian president's legal protections while approving possible future warrants.
France's highest court is ruling on whether it can strip the head of state immunity of Bashar Assad, the former leader of Syria, now in exile in Russia, because of the brutality of the evidence in accusations against him collected by Syrian activists and European prosecutors. If judges can lift Assad's immunity, it could pave the way for his trial in absentia over the use of chemical weapons in Ghouta in 2013 and Douma in 2018. And set a precedent to allow the prosecution of other government leaders linked to atrocities, human rights activists and lawyers say. Assad has retained no lawyers for these charges and has denied he was behind the chemical attacks. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Ukrainian President Zelensky says his forces holding back a concerted summer drive by Russia's army to break through its defenses along parts of the front line. Townhall.com. The cost of satisfying that chocolate fix is going up.
The Hershey Company has confirmed its plans to raise prices across its portfolio, blaming the increase on the rising cost of ingredients, particularly cocoa. The Hershey Company, whose brands include Reese's, Almond Joy, and Kit Kat, among others, has, quote, worked hard to absorb those costs and keep most of its offerings under $4 for years, according to a spokesperson. Price changes are expected to go into effect this fall, with the average increase to be in the low double-digit percentages. Cocoa prices have more than doubled over the past 2 years due to poor weather and disease in West Africa, which supplies more than 70% of the world's cocoa. Bernie Bennett reporting.
A utility in California, Southern California Edison, is setting up a compensation program. It's designed for victims of January's Los Angeles area wildfires. The Eaton fire killed 19 people. It also destroyed more than 9,400 homes and other structures. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
I had a listener win a pair of tickets for Chris Young tonight at
Sweet.
the Eddy County Fair. A young lady named Candace. I had to ask her how to spell her name, make sure it wasn't, it was canned ice, not canned ass. So
I think it's with the A, right?
Yeah, it was an I.
Oh, with an I.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some do spell it with
I've
an
never
A.
seen it with an I. The only ones I've seen was with an A.
Really?
Candace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of the more famous Candaces would were A's, but yeah, she's Candice.
Only Candace Cameron. What are the
Yeah.
Candace? How many other Candaces
I think she was an I.
Was she? I have
think
no
so.
idea.
I could look it up.
I'm just trying to think now. How many more Candaces do I know? I'm like, I don't know that many.
Well,
I don't know that many.
Let's see.
Candace Cameron was the first one that came to mind.
Well, there's Candace King, Candace Owens, Candace Bergen.
Oh, Candace Bergen. Yeah.
Candace Jewelry. Let's see. Cameron.
Do they go by Candy?
Oh, no. Yeah, Candace Cameron spells hers Candace, so there you go.
A's are right. All right.
Now we know. That was
Happy
all
Friday, anyway.
super relevant information. Happy Friday.
Yeah. All right, so I mentioned my wife did a thing.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Oh, you know, and you're
know.
going to need to explain it because I'm not entirely sure.
I have no idea what you're talking about yet. So I'm like, what did
calendar.
I do?
So,
Oh, yes, yes.
So now explain to me how this came to be because you just kind of told me you took a picture and submitted to a
Scrolling
thing.
through Facebook,
Yeah.
they had this thing on getting your pet in the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Submit a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did.
Oh, cool.
And then I got an email a little bit later that Bella was picked to go on a calendar. She'll be Miss October.
Nice.
And that's my birthday month.
That's awesome.
So I was telling Mike, and they gave us an option to purchase. Of
Yes,
course.
for charity.
It's
So
for
it was-
charity.
yeah, so we-
And Mike's like, yeah, we
our cat's
purchased
in the
one of our
calendar. You
babies.
gotta buy the calendar, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so we got it in yesterday, was it?
Yeah, it came in yesterday.
Oh, cool. So you guys already have it.
Yeah, but it's a 2025 calendar.
Yeah, I said this is 26, right?
Maybe it goes into 26.
And he's all, no, it's a 20.
It does go into April 26.
That makes me feel better because I was all like, we're already halfway, over halfway
So check
through
out
this.
October of this year.
All right, let's flip through first.
And our little Bella Boo is on
it does,
October.
It does start with August of 25.
Yes.
Just so.
Yeah.
And she's our little calendar girl.
And that's cool. It's got reminders for shots and for vet visits. That's
Oh, I didn't even get that far.
that's
on that.
handy.
Oh yeah, it's got pet.
Flipping through August. That's my birthday month. Mako is very adorable. Lolly and Silver for September, and there's Bella in October. Aw, that's a great picture for those who are on the.
That's the one we wanted to
KSVPT.com.
submit.
That's her very popular pose.
That's
She
very-
lays in the back of the chair like that all the time.
That's really cute.
Like a spider monkey, just holds on to it.
Oh, and
she likes to cling on things.
Not only is your cat Miss October, she's also the official cat of the month for National Cat Day, which is October 29th.
What?
So
I didn't know that.
There you go, Bella, our Toby Bella.
That's not by my birthday, so
Yeah.
she'll have a special day on the
Yeah,
29th.
So she's that. So that's a.
Okay, now Miss November or Miss December or Mr. Whatever, their name game is lazy. November's name, Tabby.
Tabby.
Like a
Yeah,
tabby cat.
that's not original.
December's name, Cat.
Wow.
Cat.
It's just Cat.
She's too cute to just be Cat.
Just Cat. Oh, that is a very cute
Well, maybe
picture.
it's short for Caitlin or Cat.
Well, no, that should be.
Maybe it's like Cat
See,
Williams.
now we're back to Candace and Candice again. And it goes all the way through July of next year. So it is a one-year calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel better about
And
that.
Fergus is the last cat.
Now look at
of the calendar.
Fergus.
Fergus
That
is-
is that a Maine Coon?
I
No,
think it is.
Just really, really big
it
and
not?
long-haired. I think Maine.
That's a big cat.
Yeah.
Long cat. Look how long it is.
Yeah, the head's way smaller than the body.
I guess the best compliment you can give a cat.
That's true.
Your head and your body are really misproportioned. Well, thank you.
That reminds me of an episode of Judge Judy I was watching the other day. I swear to God, there was a guy on Judge Judy. I know it looked worse at different angles, but there was a large man. A large man.
I know what you're talking
on
about.
Judge Judy. But they had a camera angle on him where it made it look like his body was this big and his head was like this big.
You ever seen the Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory when she blows up into a blueberry? That was basically what
He
it
almost
looked
looked
like.
like a larger version of the Beetlejuice guys with the head.
Well, see, all I could think was Huel.
Yeah, he was a defendant, by the way. Did not win.
Well, I wouldn't imagine. It really comes down to camera angle. There is this guy. He was a YouTube influencer. I can't remember his name offhand.
Yeah.
But he was viral a few months ago for some political thing. But there was a shot of him, and his camera's like down here, and he obviously works out. So he's kind of built, got like the lats and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But his head was so small, and the angle that like he had the camera at, it made his head look even smaller.
Right.
It's one of those situations.
That's what was going on Judge Judy.
It's one of those situations where it messes with your head and you start seeing it get even smaller as you stare at it.
This is almost exactly what happened because they showed one angle. I was like, okay, it didn't look so bad. But then it went to the other angle. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Beetlejuice dude.
I think the camera guy was having fun with that
don't know.
too.
It
He was
just-
probably like, "Oh my god!"
It just looked, and
It was
and he
funny.
was a large dude, like
He was ball shaped.
He was a large American.
He was shaped of a ball.
He was it was literally like the snowman, but one ball.
Now,
Guest here, I heard doors opening closed.
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to go and try to find this guy.
Okay, I did.
Too much archival Judge Judy footage. Nobody.
Okay, I heard doors opening and closing. I didn't know if our guest was here. So, but yeah, so my cat. That's what the whole point of this was. I don't know how I went from fat head
I don't
to
know.
little head, but my wife my cat ended up in.
I thought about submitting Stefan because I saw that same ad, but I'm just like,
Oh, you saw it too. See, I didn't see this ad. I was just like, thanks.
Well, I don't think I saw it on my personal page, but Missy was scrolling and she saw it, so
Okay.
I heard about it.
There you
But,
go. Kim, our cat made it.
There you go. That's awesome. I love my calendar girl.
I've been singing that to
Nice.
her.
Don't tell our other cat.
I was gonna say there's gonna be some feline jealousy in the house.
Yeah, Hannah gets jealous.
Well,
We give her attention too, just as much.
Oh yeah, they're spoiled rotten, both of
She
them.
does
so.
not like Bella to get attention.
But there has been a power shift in the house.
Yeah.
Like Hannah's the older of the two cats.
Mm-hmm.
And
does Bella only take her water bubbly now?
Yes. But no, this is nothing to do with the calendar. But it was because Hannah's the older, the first cat, the OG, and then Bella came a couple years later.
Sure.
And so Hannah was kind of the king of the roost kind of thing.
Yeah, rule the house.
And was actually bigger than Bella. Bella's because Hannah was fatter then. Bella is a little cat. She's now round.
Right.
She's fatter. Now she's the big gal. But anyway, that shifted as our other cat's getting older. She's gotten smaller. And she's still feisty. Like they love and hate each other. Like 1 minute they're like if one of them
siblings. It makes sense.
One of them is like in trouble or hurt, the other one's like, "Oh, you okay?" and checking in on him. But then in the same moment, one will be sitting in a chair, the other walk by, and the other will just whack the crap out of it. And so it's
they're a temperamental species. It's funny though in the domesticated animal kingdom, as far as like house animals go, they really do have their own hierarchy. Like there's the dogs that that we all had, the in-laws had when we lived at the farmhouse. As they got older and they kind of sort of like took their place as the alpha of like the leader of the pack. But now some of them are getting a lot older. Like our dog Zoe, their dog Zoe. We're pretty sure he's deaf and blind, or pretty close to it.
Right.
And he sort of just has been relegated to the corner, whereas some of the younger dogs have kind of like taken over the dog roles.
Yeah, I get that. There's kind of, but Hannah, she's too loud to not be heard. She's always, that cat does not shut up.
I read something
around me anyway.
I read something that I found kind of interesting. Did you know that when humans aren't around, cats don't meow? They don't meow at each other. Like meowing was like evolutionarily like developed to get humans' attention. And so when the way it was explained to me is when humans aren't around, they communicate with like actions, but also like with clicks.
Okay.
Like they'll click or purr at each other, and that's how they communicate. And they don't.
I don't know.
The meow is only for humans.
I'm always there.
I don't know what cat curse words sound like, but I'm pretty sure mine has had a few choice words for me. Like I'll be walking to feed him, and he's like, "What? You're literally putting sentences together."
You haven't heard my hand.
Bella,
I have conversations with my cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
I walk around
same.
the house, and I'll walk up and down the hall. Guests on the way, and I can't. Like she's got a lead. She's got to lead me.
Yeah, she's got to escort us everywhere.
But she'll
she leads.
I mean, to be honest, there's times I'll get home from work, I can't talk to Kim. I'm not allowed to.
No.
As soon as I try to, she's yelling at me to a point.
Give her attention.
I can't
first.
even hear Kim because the cat. So I have to literally get down and pet the cat and that's the only way I can talk to Kim is to go down with the cat.
As soon as I get home, Stefan will immediately put himself in my spot on the couch.
Yeah.
So I have to pay attention to him before I can go about my day. But yeah, like on the weeks that I don't have my kids, I'll communicate with him. I'll talk to him. And he sometimes will meow back at me, but most of the time he just gives me these dirty looks. But it's how I stay sane.
And I have conversations.
When I have other people.
Bella doesn't hesitate to cuss me out.
She hisses at you if you don't like your
Really?
stuff.
So, like, she's getting very territorial in my recliner. And she gets in it. And when I go to get in it, I'm like, come on, Bella. And she kind of grumbles and gets upset. And then she looks at me and hisses, and then jumps off.
Wow. Dang, that's sending a message.
She gives me a hiss.
Well, the one that makes me laugh the hardest, and this is it's such a kid cussing out their parent.
It is, yeah.
Is like, she'll get in my lap and whatever. And then she's usually more respectful to me than her for some reason.
Yeah, she'll cuss me out. But get up, Bella. She jumps down.
What she'll do every once in a while, she'll get up, and as she's walking away, she'll turn around and look at you and go, and then turn around.
Yeah, exactly. She does.
That's fantastic.
And then she goes about her day.
She goes,
she's like, she just flipped the bird and just walked off.
That's fantastic.
Or when she tries to bolt in the garage, Bella, get back in here. She turns and goes in. As soon as she gets in,
I can say Stefan's never hissed at me.
Yeah.
He does. There's one spot though, like he'll lay like out so I can kind of like, scratches like his belly and stuff. But there's one spot. If I accidentally
the murder
move my
button.
hand over that spot, it's
That's a kill spot.
yes,
Yeah,
and
kill
then
button.
and then it. Usually I'll pull my hand back and he'll just give me this look and walk off. I'm like, fine, I don't want to talk to you anyways, jerk.
Yeah.
They're funny.
The worst is when I wake up in the morning, like if I move, my cat's like, feeding time? Time to eat? Time to go right now? And then he, like when I don't turn to where his bowl is, he stops and he just gives me this long look. And then as soon as I even slightly move again, he's like, oh, now. So now it's time? It's time right now, right? Yeah, to the point where I have to be like, not yet.
That's Hannah.
I'll handle you in a minute.
That's why she's yelling at me. It's either pretension or food or, fix her food.
Yeah.
She gets,
My gosh. A tiny little, you can see at the bottom of her dish, a tiny little hole.
There's no food in there.
Yeah.
She
that's how Stefan
yells
is.
at Mike, you need to fix this.
That's how Stefan is. I'm like, you have food.
I'm like, hey, put your paw in there and do this. It's
I'll
gone.
I'll take his bowl, grab the bag, and I'll shake the bag.
Yeah.
And then kind of move the food around and then put it back down. And he's
He's
just fine.
good.
Yeah.
Hannah has a way of saying thank you though when you do that, or when I put water in her thing.
Oh, yeah, she's like rubbing on your-
She headbutts
Yeah.
after like
She's
a thank
coming up
you.
and headbutting, and doing it. She is thankful.
Yeah.
But she's very vocal about it.
Yeah.
But she gets very nervous if the food's not just
Bless
right.
her heart. Yeah.
Well,
of course,
you're gonna have a very temperamental cat now that you've calendarized them.
they're both little deep.
They're gonna need
They
just in their own
are.
different ways.
Bella's gonna need a special
they're so
sleeping
spoiled.
quarters, a vanity with lights.
And it's and they're just like last night, Hannah. What did she do? She like last night wanted to get under the covers.
Really?
Yes, I got up
I was
around
out.
1 or 2 or something in the morning to go to the bathroom, and I get back in, and I start to drift off. Next thing I know, I got,
Right in your ear. Aww.
and then I felt something licking my hand. And I'm like, what? What?
It was me. No.
Kim was feeling all frisky. She taught herself to purr.
And then I saw her pawing at the blanket, and I'm like, and so she started pawing at the blanket. I was like, you want under, or are you playing your game where you want under and don't want under?
Right.
Because a lot of times I'll offer, and then she just looks at me like
Like a
nah,
game.
and leaves.
I don't want it if you give it to me.
But yeah, it's sure enough. I opened it and she burrowed right under there, and and then I don't know how long she stayed there. I just heard the, and I fell asleep.
That'll put you right out. I pointed this out to a friend the other day. When there's times when I can't sit comfortably, like I have to sit on the edge of my couch like this, because if I sit back, Stefan's like, "Oh, cool, lap time," and he just runs over and will climb up my chest and just like lay across me.
Yeah.
I'm granted, best naps I've ever had.
Well, I can fix that. Like when they want to come up, and then they want to hang out, but I don't really want them to. I just I do over stimulation. I'll go and start, and then I'll start like grabbing and kissing on them. They hate that. And then they leave.
Again, malicious compliance. They want it. They don't want you to give it to them.
Yeah. So I grab them and start like hugging on it. They're like, "Oh, that's too much. I'm out." And then they bolt. And then
Bella likes to get right here across right below my neck.
Yeah, that's how
And
Stefan is.
it's so uncomfortable. That's her spot. I mean, she tries to do that, and she'll do it real quick before I tell her no.
What I have to do is he'll lay across my chest, and I have to like hold his paws, because when he gets, when he's comfortable and gets excited, he stretches his claws out and they go straight into my side. So I'm just like, and that feels weird because I'm like holding his hands and petting him.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, this is the most royal treatment any animal's ever gotten, By the way, Miss Amy's here.
Good, very good. All right, let's get our hour going.
Yes.
Because I'm sure people are tired of hearing about our cat.
We did fill a good 15 minutes with cat talk. That's not unimpressive.
We can talk about them all day.
But yes, Amy McVeigh-Tejas is going to join us here from the Historical Society. Heritage Dinner is just right around the corner, and reservations will be now. We got some great organizations that are going to be honored this year, and so we'll talk about that with Amy here in just a few. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is back over central New Mexico, and it means sunshine and hot temperatures for us today. We're going into the upper 90s. Wind should stay fairly light, though. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, our low in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Clear and 70 on Saturday night, and then we're expecting mid-90s and sunshine Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62% with northwest winds at 6 miles per hour. If you like sunny and mid-90s, that's what we're getting, except for tomorrow. Tomorrow's 100. 99 is what they're saying, but it's 100. We all know. But, yeah, 96 and sunny today. Winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be 99 here. Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies, 96 for a high there. And then next week, Monday, sunny and 94. Tuesday, sunny and 94. Wednesday, sunny and 94. Thursday, sunny and 95. Just for funsies. But no talk of rain at that point there. But there you go. There's your weather. It is 9:24. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then Amy McVeigh-Tejas will join us here in just a few. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. Back to school season is here, and Roswell Honda wants to get you geared up for the back to school giveaway. Join us from 10 to 1 for free hot dogs and ice cold Pepsi, Jolly Jumps, face painting, snow cones, and our friends at Tacos Pita selling their delicious tacos and drinks. Register to win a backpack full of supplies, a basket of school supplies, or a computer, desk, and chair. Drawing at 1 p.m. Must be present to win. See you Saturday at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
For the first time ever, the National Championship Air Races are touching down in Roswell, New Mexico from September 10th through the 14th. Witness the world's best pilots battle it out in the fastest motorsport on the planet. Vintage warbirds, cutting-edge jets, aerobatics, and family fun, all against the stunning New Mexico sky.
3, 2, 1.
Get your tickets now at airrace.org. Don't miss this high-octane spectacle.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Need a little help this back-to-school season?
Yep.
Now you can test drive for supplies at Roswell Hyundai. Just stop by Roswell Hyundai, browse the lot, and find the vehicle you need. Take it for a qualified test drive and get a $20 Target gift card to help cover notebooks, pencils, clothes, or whatever they need to succeed. And with a lot chock full of new and pre-owned vehicles, you're sure to find what you want for less. Limit one test drive per family and one gift card per child. For a limited time at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 28 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. Good morning.
Good morning.
How? Of course, we're getting it's. I always say, there's lulls, but there's never a dang lull. It's always from one thing to. I mean, we went from like scholarships and stuff, and now we're really hard and heavy on Heritage Dinner here, and then really getting ready for back to school and everything else. So it's kind of. There is no downtime. It's just a switching of busy times.
Well, and Mike, I'm so glad you mentioned scholarship because you know what? We weren't talking about scholarships, but now that you mention it, we want to give a shout out to New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy. I've heard they have a great group.
Yeah,
Things are going.
They just had a new, what do they call cycle, or what do they call that?
Yes, a new
phases?
cycle.
Yeah.
We've already been in touch, and thank you for mentioning that. That wasn't on my radar because, Mike, we have like 27 things.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want to encourage people listening. If you have never been involved with Historical Society scholarships with New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy, it's a blessing in my life. We love them, and they love us.
Sure.
And we are a partnership. We do tours. We work together. We pray together.
And so many youth really do find their niche in the world through what they do, and the little bit of help we can offer to that and help kind of make that process a little easier, we're glad we can.
And I've got to get a shout out in heaven to Judge Alvin Jones. I'm going to be honest with you. He is the one that opened that door to partner with them. I showed up on an evening for Character Counts Awards, and I sat around looking, thinking, this is a natural fit for the Historical Society. Why haven't we been involved? And since then, this is our 5th year, Mike, with Youth Challenge. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just, our beautiful tree is flourishing, and we have quite a substantial large tree now.
Yep.
And it's all those amazing kids that, for one reason or another, just needed a little boost. I guess that's a nice. So they're in the.
People don't find their way in the world the same way.
That's right. That's right.
Going, certain paths don't work for everybody. And
so on behalf of the society, we're sending love out to you. Challenge, if you're listening and think, I don't have much, but I could give a little donation for that scholarship fund, call us, get in touch with us, and that will be earmarked. You know how we are, Mike. Every dime to the last dollar.
Well, and we're very thankful to those people that have entrusted us to be that agent.
Yes.
To get the money to these youth. So we're very thankful.
Yes.
And we're more than willing and happy if there's others that would like to do it.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're very respectant of the wishes on, matter of fact, we were just talking about some of that our last meeting about, we want to do this, but I want it to do this and this and this. And like, no problem. That's
right.
How you wish it. That's how we will do it. So,
we are very respectful of all requests, and at the end of the day, we're just going to impact lives. So if you're wondering how this process works, in the next week or two, next month for sure, we'll go out to you challenge. I'm going to give a great talk on history, impacting character. We're going to challenge them. They're going to already be given some deadlines. They're going to be starting to write some things and doing videos, and then before you know it, it'll be right before Christmas, and they'll be graduating.
Yeah, it'll be a blip, absolutely. But before the blip happens, we are this year's Heritage Dinner. They're all special, but this one we're honoring some great organizations that have been pillars in service to the community. Many of us for our whole lifetimes, in some cases, depending on how old you are. But they've been a staple in this community for a long time, every one of them. And so we have 4 great organizations, and we're going to honor them on August the 26th with our annual Heritage Dinner this year. A big salute to the Assurance Home, our community kitchen, Harvest Ministries, and the Poor Claire Mary Mary Claire Monastery and Our Lady of Guadalupe. I always botch that.
The Port Clare Monastery, those precious little angels. There you go.
The monastery. The monastery. That's what I'm doing.
Right, or most I've grown up hearing, the Port Clares.
Yeah.
The little angels, yes.
But these are organizations that have been staples in our community, helping folks in their various ways. Obviously, Assurance Home with what they do with youth and that little oasis they got here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Community Kitchen, Harvest Ministries, serving the needs of homeless to just people who need a meal. They just no questions asked, just come eat kind of thing. And then of course the monastery. What they do. They got a prayer hotline. I mean, how cool is that?
Well, that's true. That is true. And a website.
Yeah. I mean, if you need a prayer, you call. And I don't care what. I don't care. That's one of the most powerful, beautiful things you can say. Mm-hmm. Hey, let me have a minute to prayer and talk to God and help and talk and next thing you know, a lot of folks that do this tend to see solutions. They find the strength and answers they need to get through what they're dealing with.
I was born and raised in Roswell. When we did this event, we were intentional to do it right this year. 100%, we all know we got it right, Beacons of Hope. But I think the thing I learned, Mike, reminds me a little bit of Leadership Roswell. Mm-hmm. Went through Leadership Roswell class. You think you know your community. No, you don't know your community.
You know your slice of it.
You know your little slice.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have had the privilege of experiencing, some of our board members, and I want everybody listening to is, you think and you've heard legacies or stories of these 4 organizations. Mm-hmm. Dig a little bit deeper. Mm-hmm. We hear, it reminds me, just like Excel Energy and so many, we're used to hearing these same names. Mm-hmm. Well, learn a little bit more and you think What I have learned, for example, Community Kitchen, they have, obviously, all these organizations have needs. They're so intentional with their needs. It's a well-oiled engine. Little bits of blessings can help. So one thing I really want the listeners to do right now, yes, this is a fundraiser. In the words of Elaine Mayfield, we're an award celebration first, fundraiser second. At the end of the day, we just want to celebrate the impact they've had in history. And it is a fundraiser. But go to our website, roswellnmhistory.org. You're going to see wish lists. Mm-hmm. When you're out and about this weekend, be intentional, or maybe with your family. Maybe do once a week. And if you say, well, Amy, I'm not Catholic, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. I was born and raised Catholic. I'm not Catholic anymore. They love me just the same. But if you just have never driven by their area, I mean, I'm not encouraging the whole city to drive by there.
Not at once.
Well, and they are private, just as the Assurance Home.
Sure.
These well-oiled. And I think it's so unique that Assurance Home and Port Clares are literally, I mean, you could throw a rock from one to the other.
Sure.
Don't do that. But I mean, you can do that.
It's feasible.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But drive by the Port Clare Monastery. If you have a little need, yes, they have specific times. You can ring the doorbell. They have a little gift shop. Give a little blessing to them. I'm going to tell you one thing. They'll never forget you in your need.
Absolutely.
They don't. They just don't. Assurance Home. I thought I knew. I have adored Ron Malone and that engine since I was very young. Mm-hmm. They have grown. They've established. They keep going. It's like everything else. So you think you know, but you don't. So
Sure.
dig in a little.
Absolutely.
Harvest Ministries. Oh, my. Harvest Ministries, Mike, I think we need 2 plaques for them.
Well, they literally started as a grassroots thing out of a car on the street, and now they are basically the fiscal agent for getting the Roadrunner Food Bank, the food.
That's exactly.
They are the distributor.
They're
for,
a hub,
for
if
food.
you will.
Yeah,
Well, Mike, when we were serving at Community Kitchen, and we said Fred Boggs, and everybody was eating a little bit of dessert, and we're like, where did this come from? Where did it come from? Harvest Ministries.
Yeah.
They're the hub, networking that all together.
Absolutely.
And we can't, without... When you say Harvest Ministries, to me, I think of Phil Rubenstein. His service to being a police officer, but he helped it to grow, to be so. He's no longer with us, and shout out to Pastor Mark and all that
continuing on
the team does. Because one thing else I want to remind people, we have the fearless and amazing leaders of all of these entities, but It's a team.
It's the volunteers.
It's a village.
The people that spend their
These are villages.
mornings or afternoons are coming over there and doing their thing.
So one thing I do want to encourage all these organizations, yes, they have amazing leaders, but what about all those hidden treasures, those individuals that have said, oh, yeah, I've only been here 18 years. 18 years, 5 years. They're showing up. They're doing all these
And this
things.
is a way we can, if you'd like to honor them specially, is our Pay It Forward opportunity here. You know, if maybe you're like, well, I'll order a meal for my family, but I'd like to, maybe I can buy a bundle, which would be basically 5 boxes. You could pay that forward and say, give this to people, and then we'll use that. And we actually give them to the volunteers of these organizations, say, hey, here's a dinner for you.
That's right.
And so the more you could, and of course we do it for our own volunteers too. If you don't earmark, if you want to earmark, we can, hey, buy a bin and give it to those Harvest Ministry volunteers, or give it to those volunteers. But if you don't, sometimes our volunteers and the people that selfishly give their time to help us, we like to pay it forward to them too, and the people that do work with us. And
we do have our little organization wish list, and it hasn't all been covered.
Sure.
My life wouldn't be possible here at the Historical Society without our amazing volunteers. So I have my little wish list, hoping we can pay it forward. And we haven't gotten there. I am happy to say all 4 organizations have been sponsored, meaning we are paying it forward to all 4 organizations. Good. But I will tell you, we haven't been sponsored to the level to surpass so many people on their end. So
put this way, they could probably use more boxes.
You better believe it. So, for example, if we got a double blessing to the Sharon's Home, Community Kitchen, Harvest Ministries, Port Clare Monastery blessing looks a little bit different. Hey, let me tell you, everybody's got their wish list. We would be honored to pay it forward.
That's another way to help out too. Is if you go to our website, you can see the wish list, and these are things that each of these organizations need on a continuous basis or a one time, but needs of the organizations. And if you'd like to get on those things and see if you can knock a few check marks on that list for them, that would be a lot of it's consistent stuff that they need monthly every time. But I imagine each has a few wish list or one-time needs or something like that.
You know what an organization needs. Don't assume that. Go to the wish list.
Absolutely.
Because what I have learned is some people are taking things with a giving heart to organizations that perhaps they don't need as much as other things. So let's champion
maximize our effectiveness of getting the help that's needed.
And if you wanted to make a donation, we've had this. I had a precious lady. Mike, I have to tell you, yesterday, I'm just going to call her Boss Lady. Boss Lady purchased a box, right? Which I just love. I'm not saying the whole, but come on. Boss Lady, I think that's cool. So anyways, I called and I said, I just want to thank you. I love you, Boss Lady. I just think that's really cool. Well, long story short, she has never participated in one of our events before, but she is very connected with Sharon's Home. She drives them, and it made this connection. Well, then once she found out what's in the blessing bag, she's like, okay, that's amazing.
Dove in with both feet.
So, Boss Lady, thank you. I just want to thank you for what you've done. And there's just power in coming together. Power and impact, and as much I woke up and I didn't go to sleep till like 2 or 3 last night, and I was thinking, if there is a way we can impact these organizations the way we've impacted our community, it's not enough. So, guys, let's just talk specifically.
Sure.
Pay it forward to these organizations by buying a box or a bundle to pay it forward. If you have a special request, and we don't take things personally. If you say, I want this pay it forward to go to Community Kitchen,
no problem.
Great, you have a connection with that.
No, we get that.
So then if you purchase a box, pay it forward another box. So buy one, pay it forward one. The day of the event, guys, we need to fill the cars up, get the extra needs. So when you drive through, we're going to have tables for each organization. So if we know Port Clare's love fruit, they're fruity. I'm fruity. I love them because they're fruity.
Yeah.
So if you brought some extra fruit, what you could do is buy a little something for each one.
Sure.
Little things mean a lot. So you buy a bag of oranges. You say, Amy, that's not much. It is to us. Any way we can bless them, yes.
Absolutely.
So purchase. Look at the wish list, but you can also, at the drive-thru, we'll have stations for everyone. We'll be the drop-off. Call us today and drop off. And one thing I love, Mike, is we can take money, and I could literally call this organization and say, hey, so-and-so Mike donated $50. What do you need? And we're going to go get it.
Nice.
We got a call this week. there was a definite need to help relief and stuff like that. We partnered together to help in Ruidoso.
That's awesome.
Guys, it's not about us, about when somebody says, Amy, you need to pay your bills. Mike, at the end of the day, you and I know we need money too, but it's greater than us. And any way we can impact, whether it's Lincoln County and flooding, to local organizations, to helping our volunteers. We had a dynamic woman all week from New Mexico Military Institute that worked, I think, 40 or 50 hours. She was 8 to 5 all week.
Wow.
She was cleaning. She was outside. People were calling saying, do you know you have a, yes, she's working outside in the morning. So thank you for Fred Boggs and Sada. Hello, Sada. We thank you. So let's impact together. This is a golden opportunity. It's important. There is a deadline for Monday.
We do ask we get reservations in by Monday here. That's so we don't make the fine folks at Peppers too crazy trying to get our demands in.
Now let's establish the deadline. To me, a deadline's a deadline. If you're sitting there and just procrastinating like Mike Winters, I'm just kidding. I was kidding. That's pretty good, right? No, you guys, Mike has RSVP'd already. So he did. Right, 5 minutes ago. But
hey, it's before the 28th.
Hey, you know what? Good. You're improving. You're elevating your life. You didn't wait till the week before.
I'm getting good.
Man. But if you know you're going to do it, call us. Let me make life simple. 622-8333, or even text me at 575-915-4471. Let's be real on this. Yes, you can go to the website and do it. I love the people that have called and said, can I mail you a check so you make more money? You're right.
Absolutely.
There are fees, yes, but we need that. Now, in an emergency, we can still add after that deadline, but if you know you're going to do what you're going to do, let's
get her done now. Let's get taken care of it.
We have a great response already, Mike. Guys, we're going for historical numbers here. Yeah. I need you to RSVP if you can, and encourage. Call your office, call your small group, call your church. Beacons of Hope. Let's get groups together celebrating. Absolutely. I would love to know there's homes and businesses all around Roswell coming together to celebrate the organization that perhaps they're connected to.
And don't forget, we can deliver those meals to break them up and everything else. So if you want to order a bundle and say, hey, can you deliver a box to this house and 2 to this house and 1, no problem. As long as it's we don't have to drive to like Colorado to do it. But I mean,
we'll do almost anything for the right price. Hey, and Mike is up for negotiation.
It's true.
Hey, guys, if you're listening, we haven't had a challenge. Mike's done a lot of unique things for the Heritage Dinner. And
I've shown up at places, worn various
things. Let's be creative, yes.
Yeah.
But Mike, yesterday I had a request. Hey, could John LeMay deliver my meal? You better believe John LeMay.
I don't blame him. Winters, John is 10 times dreamier than me. So.
If you have a special request. But guys, you're right. We will absolutely deliver. We'd be honored to deliver.
Absolutely.
We'll be happy to deliver. Mike, we have some other things going on. I know people are used to hearing it. Guys, let's impact lives and fill up our blood drive.
Yes.
And they're running a great promotion. I think you can even get a little gas card for anybody who delivers right now.
Yeah, they do. So, from time to time, they give
always
little
doing
bonuses or little.
Well, I didn't even know.
Yeah, everyone's like T-shirts and various things.
So it's a gas card. I think it's a $10 gas card or something.
That comes in pretty useful right now.
Look at our website or call me to book that. Let's impact lives. Let's get the blood drive. Guys, marking the calendar. I don't know if we've said this officially on the radio. The official Museum Day date.
Yes.
At November the 1st.
Okay, we do have that locked down now.
November the 1st is Museum Day. If you're saying, what in the world is that? We'll call any museum in Roswell and find out more.
We'll have a busy day that day. Yes. I believe that's also the walked-in Alzheimer's Day is November 1st. So people will have a lot to do that day. So walk in the morning and go hit the museums afterwards.
Because I need to try to figure something else myself. So it's a 10 to 5 thing. There are other things going on. I think you and I both know, you talk about all these amazing things. Our community is amazing. We're always doing something. It's hard to pick a date where we're not conflicting.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
You will go crazy trying to find the perfect weekend for something that nothing's going on.
So we never want to take away from that walk. Sure. You and I both know how important that is. If there's any way, so Museum Day is 10 to 5, and we're connecting our book fair with Museum Day. So we're going to have a lot going on at the archives. The archives and museum will be open. Donna Blake Burchell, John LeMay will be signing books.
Yeah.
We're going to have some booths. Danielle Gonzalez with her amazing little
art and
fun things. So November 1st, 10 to 5, Museum Day. If you partner with a local museum or just want to go to all of them, you can call us for more
and
information.
you usually get to, again, if you need an incentive, you hit all they do a passport like deal where you hit the different museums, and each museum usually gives away a prize.
So,
and I think there's a big prize if you hit all the museums and turn in your passport or whatever.
You're exactly right.
You're going to be registered for another really cool prize that usually involves, like, put it this way, I don't think you're paying for a meal for like 6 months, because I think
it's going to be, I think, and don't hold me to it, like $750, $1,000 huge basket.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So a fun internal thing, we kind of get competitive.
Yeah.
Oh, because like Nemi's basket was amazing, blah, blah. So you're right. Each organization will have an opportunity. We'll have a basket, the grand prize basket, and we're going to offer some special promotions. And we're hoping to have the honor and privilege to partner with Roswell Museum, and I'll leave you at that. But we will have a special new exhibit too. So
yeah, they're going to take the show on the road this year.
Yeah. Well, I told Caroline, shout out to Caroline, I hope you're listening. I was like, I want some of the Roswell Museum, or I'm sure the community is like at every museum. But whatever they do, it's going to be.
That's not a bad idea.
I'd love, you know.
They do a lot of, like, the library, and they've done a lot of stuff at the library since they've had the not availability of the museum.
And I think, if my memory serves me correct, don't hold me to it, I think the library might be holding something that day too. So
very good.
Many times, don't have the mindset, oh, why is everything at once? Why don't we wake up early and embrace everything?
Try to do as much as possible.
And we never, you're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to.
Well, and then this kind of, there's never nothing to do in the town. Oh, really? There's like 4 events this weekend going on. You know?
Yeah, I think November 1st is going to be that day. We encourage you to not sit on the butt talks.
Don't eat too much candy and get into a sugar coma the night before, the morning of.
That's right.
Because Halloween will be the night before.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And you know, Donna and John's books, we're going to have kind of a weekend Halloween celebration because they've got those haunted books.
John's getting into the ghosts. I mean, that's usually Donna's bag, and now
so
John's
we're going to
dabbling
celebrate
too,
Halloween all weekend in their books line. Mark your calendars. Also, November the 22nd. That's Historical Society's Holiday with Friends.
That's
a
always
little
fun.
pop-up Christmas event, and we've had some others coming saying, "Hey, can we add our little archives?" It is pretty nice size. We're going to be full. But please support us. And I know Miss Lucas is probably already cooking now. I'm just kidding.
I'm ready.
Deborah Lucas, there you go. She'll
Bring
bring you a smile. See, I love, and we're shouting out. I hope Deborah's listening. How can you say Deborah Lucas without smiling? Knowing, I mean, we can almost just have the aroma of baked goods and everything when we say
I'm not gonna lie, I was at Farmers over the weekend, and I was in. You know, they have that like table with like their baked goods.
That temptation table.
Yeah, I walked through there and I saw pumpkin roll, and I was like, no, it's not gonna be the same. Move along.
Just
Move
being
along.
real. Just being real.
Discipline game. I was like,
being real.
Nope. Nope. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold out.
That's right. That's right. Got it.
I swear over the weekend I had one of those moments.
See,
so.
it just brings back a moment.
But,
I know we're probably running out of time. It's very important for me to pay tribute where tribute's due. We just want to give a love and blessing and prayers to the White family. I know they'll be honoring James Phelps White III this weekend, and he's passed some time ago, and we've continued to have memorials and paying tribute. His passion for history, his hard work and desire to make our connections. So one thing, I'm going to pay tribute where tribute's due. I think Phelps will want me to do this. He was very passionate about making that Texas connection to New Mexico. So if you don't know the connection with George W. Littlefield and the Whites, you need to, and Phelps would want you to. So I'll leave it at that. If you say, Amy, what the heck are you talking about? Well, you should know, but if you don't, call the museum, because there is an amazing book that will explain that, and he collaborated with Mr. Gracie on that. So
matter of fact, I just was on Facebook this morning, and I saw a thing that was shared like in the local Roswell history or whatever thing, and it was kind of talking about the home and the family and kind of when the home came to be, but those names you're just mentioning are right all over that. So that's kind of leading into the
Well,
story, the history you're talking about.
That happened a little bit earlier. I thought that was going to happen a little bit later. So when it popped up earlier, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Historic Preservation Department
I read that
in New Mexico.
Yesterday.
And I thought it was going to pop up later, and we'll share it more. I thought that was coming late. I love when things come around. I'm like, hey,
I literally was
that's
scrolling. I was like, oh, look at this.
Yes, I thought it was next month. Hey, well, shout out to Juliana Halverson.
Yeah.
She's all over it. She finds those things.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
At a historic preservation perspective, if you live in the historic district, need more information, we can make those connections, and that's what the Historic Preservation Department does.
Nice. Well, we'll have to get a little more
Celebrating
in depth on another
We
conversation.
will, absolutely.
One last thing I do want to remind folks is don't forget Pray at the Pole on Wednesdays.
Yes, thank
every
you.
Wednesday morning, 9 a.m.
Yes.
The flagpole out really kind of smack dab in between the
That's
home
right.
and the archives facility. You look for the people in the flagpole. You can't miss it.
Yes,
And
can't
at
miss
9
it.
a.m. we just gather there and we just have a moment of prayer.
Absolutely. About
And
10 or 15 minutes.
and obviously, if you can't make it, you're more welcome to pray anytime, or 9 o'clock. But if you got a moment, come and you want, it kind of started, with praying for, things politically or things
Right.
like natural disasters.
National
like some
Day
of
of
the flood.
Prayers where we
Yeah.
started, and then through that.
So it
Mike,
just-
often we'll have 4 or 5 states, and we had 2 countries.
Nice. So we got quite a
We have
representation there.
Canada. Miss Jane's going to represent Arizona. We've got
Nice.
Colorado, Texas. I love it.
Next thing you know, people are going to start bringing donuts and coffee and it'll be like a big pop-up picnic every
that would get Fred up early to come every Wednesday.
Well, but put an ice cream sandwich or something out there.
Oh, he likes donuts. Coffee and donuts in the morning, ice cream in the afternoon.
I got to ask Fred about this real quick because I saw something on social media.
Okay.
And I think it's real. I have not seen it in a store yet.
Uh-huh.
But it's Pop-Tarts that they made ice cream sandwiches. So it's an ice, but instead of like the ice cream sandwich
Stop
cookie,
it.
it's literally like chocolate or cinnamon Pop-Tarts. And I know that that's a diabetes waiting to happen, but I could easily see Fred chowing down one of those Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches.
Hopefully, Dr. Martinez, walk the doc's not listening right now. Dr. Martinez, we don't always talk about all these types
I
of
do.
things. Hey, Dr. Martinez, Mike's a very bad influence.
And,
No, I'm just kidding.
I've also got health issues.
Oh, that's so funny.
But,
Just
yeah.
everything in moderation.
Yeah, but I'm like, yes, I want to try it. But the other guy was like, Fred would love this Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich. So very good. RoswellNMHistory.org is our website. You can go there, get reservations for the Heritage Dinner. Shopping, if you like, if you want to get books from Donna Blake or John or
Hurd
Elvis
prints,
Fleming or
Elvis
any
Fleming,
of
the new books.
the new books as well. The Peter Hurd prints, those are always a great one. We have several different ones to choose from.
That's right.
And then, of course, if you want more information about anything else, we're talking about scholarships, or volunteering, or any of that stuff, or if you just want to watch some videos and learn some history, all right there at our website there, RoswellNMHistory.org.
We're working on some fun educational projects. Got the first history club for
Nice.
2025, 2026. Shout out to Valley View. More to come. We're ready. We're ready for history clubs. We got a lot of education connections coming, so call us. And if you want tours for your organizations and that kind of thing, Mike, let us know, because we're kind of starting that new year for our organizations and stuff. If you want a special tour talk, we're all in, especially...
And you can request Fred to do it, and I'm telling you, he'd be very happy if you bring him one of them Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches.
And Miss Robin likes cookies. She does not eat sweets, but she was eating a cookie. I was like, oh, heck yes,
Hey.
yeah.
All the people say don't eat sweets. They just need sweets in public. I know. I know. Oh, I don't know. We all love it.
Oh, that's right. Everybody's got their weak spot.
It is. No judgment. We all love it. But Amy, as always, appreciate it.
Yes.
And
Have a great
again,
weekend.
get your tickets. Or like I said, Monday is our deadline
We
for
need the support.
RSVP. Please do that. You can historydirector@outlook.com, call, or online at RoswellNMHistory.org. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend,
Yes.
and we'll see you next
Have
time.
a great one. Thanks
Yeah.
a lot. We appreciate it.
It is 9:57. The morning has zipped by. We're about to get kicked off the radio. Let's do this. Let's pause for your local news and your SRN business report. And I think about then they'll kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. FEMA now supporting state and local recovery efforts for New Mexicans in Lincoln County. who sustained damage from the severe storms, flooding, and landslides that began June 23rd and continuing. Financial assistance is available to eligible homeowners and renters in Lincoln County. FEMA may be able to help with serious needs, displacement, basic home repair costs, personal property loss, or other disaster-caused needs. Residents with homeowners, renters, or flood insurance should first file their claim. By law, FEMA cannot duplicate benefits for losses covered by insurance. If your policy does not cover all of your damage expenses, however, then you may be eligible for federal assistance. The fastest way to apply is online at disasterassistance.gov. The Roswell Police Department and Fire Department is inviting the public to join for National Night Out, Tuesday, August 5th at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center. The event running from 6 to 8 p.m., RPD and RFD and other local law enforcement, fire, and medical agencies will have some of their vehicles and equipment at the event for the kids to check out firsthand while visiting with the emergency responders. During the event, the outdoor pool will be open to the public for free beginning at 6:15. There is a limit of 200 people in the pool at any given time. Then there will be food, games, and raffles available. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. All eyes are on Wall Street today to see if the market will add to its recent string of record highs ahead of next week's busy slate of earnings, job market reports, and the latest tariff deadline. Intel shares tumbled more than 7% pre-market after the struggling chip maker announced plans to reduce its core workforce by nearly 1/4 and cut other expenses. Next week brings scores of corporate earnings reports, 3 sets of data on the labor market, and the August 1st deadline for countries to negotiate with the U.S. on tariffs. Stocks have been rallying broadly for weeks on hopes that President Trump will reach trade deals with other countries that will lower his proposed tariffs. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he will meet with Chinese officials in Stockholm next week to work toward a trade deal with China. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Trump is traveling to Scotland as his family's business prepares for the August 13th opening of a new golf course in Aberdeenshire. While there, the president will be talking